Chapter 438. Oh. Xiaofan was slightly stifled when he heard the first elder's voice transmission. Soon after, he shook his head and laughed, ha ha ha. This? Are you trying to deceive me? Ha ha ha. Do you really think I'm an idiot? Isn't this great elder too naive? Xiaofan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Xiaofan also understood that his effective attack range was a few thousand meters. Of course, this was not an attack with true qi or demon magic. If Xiaofan attacked with his true qi or demonic magic, the effective range of his attack would be suppressed by the layers of hallucinatory demonic mirror, and he might not even be able to reach 100 meters. Xiaofan had activated the hallucinatory demonic mirror and used it to kill people, which was why his attack power could reach a range of several thousand meters. However, the great elder of the Rong Plane, and even the Rong Plane himself, in this demon palace, under the high-density suppression of the hallucinatory demonic realm, their true qi divine art attacks most likely couldn't reach 1,000 meters, right? Staying in the illusory devil palace for another day, Rong and the others' attack range, and even attack power, would show varying degrees of weakening. This point, Xiaofan was deeply aware. Therefore, the first elder had made it clear that he wanted to play along with Xiaofan and lure Xiaofan into his effective attack range. How about this, little friend? Don't destroy the exit for the time being. If there's anything, we can discuss it face to face. If you have any conditions or requests, feel free to state them face to face. I will definitely try my best to satisfy you. Even if I can't satisfy your request, Lord Rong will still give you the most perfect answer. The first elder was still chattering away through voice transmission. As for Xiaofan, his face was full of disdain. However, suddenly, an idea and a mischievous idea flashed through Xiaofan's mind, and it quickly took shape. In the next moment, Xiaofan also released his sound wave. He used his mental energy to send a voice transmission through the air. Great Elder. I have indeed sensed your location. Great Elder, you are very strong. You have opened the heavenly eye, and in the immortal eye realm, you are an outstanding figure. Your cultivation is on par with the Tower Master of our dimension. I am only at expanding aperture realm, a far cry from you. If you wish to kill me, all you need is a thought. If you want me to get too close to you, I do have a lot of fear. I was killed by you. No. Little friend. You don't have to be afraid. I swear. I will never hurt you. I can swear an oath that I will not do anything to harm you. The great elder immediately transmitted a nervous and suffocating message. At this moment, the great elder was extremely nervous, as if he was holding a fragile crystal ball. Walking on a single plank bridge. He was afraid that Xiaofan would run away, so he refused to get close. His nerves were taut, and he held his breath as he sent a telepathic message. Little friend, you must believe in me. I am at the 10th level of true qi, a person of high status and authority. I have always kept my word and will never go back on my word. I said that I won't hurt you. As long as you don't hurt me. I'm willing to bet my reputation. Is that so? Xiaofan pretended to hesitate. Little friend, I believe you don't want to waste time with us, right? The hallucinatory demonic realm in the demon palace is getting more and more dangerous by the day. Yes, your mental energy is very strong. But with each passing day, the pressure on you will increase. This is a situation where both sides will suffer. Let's reconcile. They drank and chatted merrily. In the future, when you come to our plane, we will definitely welcome you and treat you like a distinguished guest. Moreover, little friend, after entering the genius zone, things are hard to say. You are like a fish in water in this hallucinatory demonic realm. You can rely on the hallucinatory demonic realm to deal with the elites of our plane. However, after reaching the genius zone, the situation will be different. You will encounter the outstanding talents of the other planes. At that time, with little friend's cultivation level, I'm afraid it will be difficult for you to move forward. If both sides reach a reconciliation and become allies, after reaching the genius zone, we will be like brothers and look after each other. It will be much better than you fighting alone, right? That way, you might be able to obtain the immortal treasure left behind by Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. Little friend, you are also a smart person. You should be able to weigh the pros and cons. The great elder was like a glib talker, trying to convince Xiaofan to stay calm. Xiaofan only sneered. After waiting for the great elder to finish his long speech, Xiaofan pretended to be disdainful. It's like this. Indeed, after entering the genius zone, with the strength of our plane, it will be very difficult to compete with the geniuses of the other planes. If I can cooperate with you, it will be the best of both worlds. Yes. It is indeed the best of both worlds. The great elder's voice trembled with excitement. If that's the case. Xiaofan pretended to say. Great elder, come and meet me alone. All the elders and fiendish heroes behind you, stop right there. Yes, let them all stay where they are. Come alone. It will be disadvantageous for me if there are too many people. The great elder thought for a few breaths and said decisively. All right. I will come alone. Both sides ended the communication. What an idiot. Xiaohan's mouth curled into a mocking smile. Then, Xiaofan strode forward. Great elder, this. Are you really going to meet that little bastard alone? The other 7 ordinary elders of the team and dozens of chivalrous knights all came over with worried expressions. Unexpectedly, the great elder suddenly laughed hoarsely. He laughed so hard that his body trembled violently. Idiot. He really is an idiot. He thinks that if I meet him alone, he will have nothing to fear. With his cultivation, as long as I get within 500 meters of him, I will be able to completely control him, making him unable to hide. I can slap tens of thousands of expanding point realm trash to death with a flip of my hand. Listen, all of you stay where you are. None of you are allowed to move recklessly. I will go and meet him now and bring his head back. Ha ha ha. None of you should stay where you are. That little bastard's spirit can sense your movements. Don't spoil things because of you. It wasn't easy to deceive him. Let's take this opportunity to eliminate this trouble. Great elder, you must be careful. The other elders reminded him in unison. That little bastard is cunning and is not someone easy to deal with. How about, great elder, we immediately find Lord Rong and let him personally handle this matter? This is unnecessary. Do you think that I can't deal with a little bastard? Even an ordinary immortal realm expert is unable to make him fall into devil mode, much less me. We must not act rashly and alert the enemy. It wasn't easy for us to find this golden opportunity to kill this little bastard. We can't let it happen just because of our mistakes. We cannot let it slip by because of our mistakes. For the time being, there is no need to alert Lord Rong. After I kill that little bastard, I will go to Lord Rong to ask for credit. The great elder's face was full of murderous intent, as well as the joy of success. After saying that, the great elder's figure leaped and directly rushed towards Xiaohan's position. Very quickly, the other elders of this battle team and Yao Xia could no longer use their spirit to sense the great elder's position. What should we do? Let the great elder meet that little bastard? I have a feeling that that little bastard is very difficult to deal with. The great elder went alone. I don't know if it will be good or bad. The few ordinary elders. They immediately whispered to each other and discussed. Suddenly, an ordinary elder laughed involuntarily. We've all become frightened birds. Ha ha ha. It's because that little bastard has caused us too much trouble before this. They've killed quite a few of our people. That's why we have so many misgivings. In fact, if we think about it carefully, we don't have to worry at all. After all, the Great Elder was a mighty expert who had opened the heavenly eye and had the body of a half-immortal. As long as he got close to that little beast, he would be able to kill it and trample it as he pleased. There was no suspense at all. Do you really think that an acupoint expansion realm cultivator would be able to defeat him? He should have a chance to defeat an immortal eye realm cultivator, right? Ha ha ha. That's too ridiculous. Hearing this, the elders and demon heroes laughed in relief. However, it's a pity that we can't move. Furthermore, our spirit undulations have been suppressed badly. We can't even survey a range of 1,000 meters. Right now, we can only stay here and watch. I hope that the Great Elder will be able to return triumphantly. Xiaofan placed his hands behind his back and walked briskly. His spirit waves were released without restraint. Oh, the Great Elder really came alone. The other elders and demon heroes all stayed where they were. He must have thought that he could easily control me. Heh, if he were to deal with a large group of demon heroes and several elders at the same time, it would take a lot of effort. Now that he's dealing with the Great Elder alone, he can activate the hallucinatory demonic realm and attack fiercely without any distractions. I wonder if he can be killed in one fell swoop. 8,000 meters. 7,000 meters. 6,000 meters, Xiaofan and the Great Elder were getting closer and closer. And the Great Elder was also walking while opening his heavenly eye to observe Xiaofan's every move. Good. That's great. That little bastard is walking directly towards me. He really wants to talk to me alone. Ha ha ha. I swore that I wouldn't hurt him, but I didn't say that I wouldn't kill him. Ha ha ha. I really won't hurt him. Because, I'll grab him in an instant and beat him until his whole body explodes and he dies directly. Ah ha 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 ha. 5,000 meters. 4,000 meters. 3,000 meters. 2,000 meters. Ha ha ha. I'm getting closer and closer. Within 500 meters, I'll kill him like slaughtering pigs and dogs. Ha ha ha. This little bastard actually stopped walking and sat down cross-legged. Why is he doing this? What trick is he trying to play? Suddenly, the Great Elder scanned the area with his mental power and discovered that Xiaofan was sitting cross-legged in the middle of the road. His eyes were looking at his nose and his nose was looking at his heart like an old monk in meditation. Xiaofan sat cross-legged. Boom 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 boom, the liquid mental power star in his sea of consciousness began to roar. Countless strands of mental power flew out like dragons and attracted all the hallucinatory demonic realm within a few thousand meters. Within a range of 2,000 meters, I can already trigger the tide of the hallucinatory demonic realm and attack this Great Elder. The corner of Xiaofan's mouth curled up into a cold smile. In the next moment, suddenly, in the area where the Great Elder was, above his head, the hallucinatory demonic realm surged with wind and clouds. The originally blue sky suddenly darkened and all kinds of illusions appeared. A huge funnel-shaped whirlpool formed above the Great Elder's head. An incomparably demonic, incomparably terrifying aura covered the sky and covered the sun. It pierced through the heavens and the earth, from north to south. Damn it! In the Great Elder's heart, an ominous premonition immediately surged up. In the blink of an eye, it was as if a piece of the sky had collapsed. The terrifying illusion of a great calamity was produced, only to see, in the void, a huge beast's mouth appeared. Millions of humans were swallowed inside. Who knew how many houses, buildings, cows, sheep, and horses were also swallowed in one gulp? The order of the world collapsed. The huge mouth was not satisfied and swallowed towards the Great Elder again. The whirlpool flowed backwards, like mercury spilling onto the ground. It was pervasive and rushed into the Great Elder's brain. Roar! The Great Elder let out a tragic howl and roared fiercely. Little bastard! You dared to play tricks. However, you are too naive. Do you think this little hallucinatory demonic realm can stop me? The Great Elder's body inflated like a balloon. He walked towards Xiaofan step by step. However, his steps were incomparably heavy. Every step was extremely difficult. Xiaofan's hands formed seals. With a thought, more and more hallucinatory demonic realms surged towards the Great Elder like a tide. I'll refine you to death. After the Great Elder walked out 500 meters, he could no longer continue. Above his head, a huge black hole followed him. This black hole seemed to emit an extremely powerful suction force. This suction force was not sucking in the Great Elder's body, but his soul. It was like a whale swallowing the sea, as if it wanted to directly pull his soul out. The Great Elder's face twisted, incomparably sinister. Cold sweat burst out of his forehead like a waterfall. Finally, he trembled and could no longer take another step forward. Bang! The Great Elder directly sat down. Stop! Little bastard! Stop! I'll refine you to death. I'll refine you to death. I'll refine you to death. Xiaofan's mind was focused. His mental power was highly concentrated. He controlled the thousands of meters of hallucinatory demonic realm and continuously bombarded the Great Elder. Strands of hallucinatory demonic realm, like evil spirits, unreasonably drilled into the Great Elder's head. Roar! Little bastard! Little bastard! Little bastard! The Great Elder burst out with a dry roar. His voice was completely hoarse. Suddenly, the Great Elder slowly raised his right hand and slowly moved it towards his forehead. On his right hand, true Qi ignited. The talisman formation exploded with a terrifying rumbling sound. No, no, little bastard. Stop. To refine a great person who has opened the heaven's eye to death is really not easy. Xiaofan had already continuously moved an unknown amount of hallucinatory demonic realm. He crazily attacked the Great Elder. His mental power had also been greatly depleted. This caused, on Xiaofan's forehead, fine cold sweat to seep out. However, Xiaofan did not relax at all. In the end, Xiaofan's ruthlessness rose. He held his breath, and the mental power in his sea of consciousness was pushed to the extreme. 10,000 meters of hallucinatory demonic realm, kill for me. Refine you to death. Ah. No. Little brother, let me go. No. Finally, the Great Elder's mind was in chaos. In his mind, a flaw was forcefully blasted open. Little brother. Let me go. Ah. Little bastard. You're treacherous. You deserve 10,000 deaths. Suddenly. Bang! The Great Elder's palm hit his forehead. Pooh! His entire body directly exploded. Chapter 439. Xiaofan exerted all his strength and didn't hesitate to consume his mental strength. He manipulated the hallucinatory demonic realm within 10,000 meters and bombarded one of the Great Elders of the Rhone Plain. Rumbling refinement. Finally, the first Elder's cultivation went berserk, and his spirit was completely taken over. He exerted all his strength and slammed his palm onto his own head. The ultimate move that he had used to kill the demon race in the past was unleashed on his own body without any restraint, showing no mercy at all. Bang! The Great Elder's body directly exploded. His body was smashed into pieces. In the blink of an eye, this heroic and peerless expert turned into a dismembered corpse. The dismembered corpse was still glistening with immortal light. Even the body of a half-immortal was smashed into pieces. It was extremely ironic. Xiaofan let out a mouthful of impure air. He slowly stood up and walked towards the dismembered corpse of the Great Elder. I didn't expect that I, Xiaofan, would also personally kill a supreme expert of the immortal eye realm. Moreover, he had opened the heaven's eye and was almost an invincible existence in the secular world. He. This great elder was not any weaker than the tower master of my plane, but he actually died in my hands. All of a sudden, all the true acupoints in Xiaofan's body seemed to solidify. Those true acupoints that had yet to be opened also transmitted a vague throbbing, causing Xiaofan's soul to tremble. Moreover, his mind seemed to have become even more full and mellow. I've obtained some accumulation. Xiaofan's heart moved. Killing a supreme expert of a higher realm has allowed me to obtain precious accumulation in the cultivation of true qi. It has paved the way for me to transform my true qi into true talismans. Good. That's great. That's right. An expert who has opened the heavens. I would be a supreme heaven's pride in any ordinary plane. To be able to kill such an existence, it will temper one's mind and stimulate one's life potential. The benefits are indescribable. Xiaofan nodded repeatedly. However, it is only in this special environment that I can kill such a powerful enemy. If I leave the hallucinatory demon palace, I will definitely be able to kill him. If I leave the hallucination devil palace, I absolutely cannot harm a single hair on it. Tao of luck. It's purely the Tao of luck. However, if I kill that Rongyi, then, what kind of accumulation will I obtain? It's really unimaginable. Very quickly, Xiaofan's fluctuating emotions calmed down. He was neither arrogant nor rash, like an old well without ripples. At this very moment, the 7 ordinary elders of the combat team. However, the 75 chivalrous men stayed where they were, not daring to move. All of them looked into the distance with complicated expressions on their faces. However, the range of their psychic fluctuations was less than 1,000 meters, so they had no idea that the great elder had already fallen. It's been a long time. An ordinary elder's mouth was dry. What exactly happened? Logically speaking, the great elder should have encountered that little bastard long ago. Furthermore, with the great elder's cultivation realm, as long as that little bastard enters his attack range, the great elder will be able to kill him like slaughtering a pig or a dog. Could there be an accident? Shut up. Another ordinary elder glared at him. Don't say such unlucky words. What realm was the great elder at? A supreme expert with 101 true acupoints opened in his body. Drawing in immortal energy. Cleansing the body, it was 100% half-immortal body. How could he fail miserably? Taking 10,000 steps back, even if that little bastard cheated, the great elder would be able to deal with it perfectly. Any unfavorable situation could be reversed. That's true, a half-immortal body is invincible in the secular world. It's impossible for anything to go wrong. Forget it, let's not guess blindly. Let's patiently wait for the great elder's triumphant return. Xiaofan slowly walked to the great elder's dismembered body and scanned it with his psychic power. Sure enough, the skin and flesh contain the charm of immortal energy. The level of life is not comparable to a mortal body. Xiaofan clearly saw the physiological structure of the great elder. If it was a head-on battle, it would be difficult for my true energy attack and demonic technique attack to deal a fatal blow to him. Xiaofan also had to admit that the half-immortal body was tyrannical. Unfortunately, your soul has not reached the level that is compatible with the half-immortal body. Xiaofan slightly shook his head. The body is very strong, but the soul is relatively weak. And it just so happens that the hallucinatory magic realm attacks and damages the soul. So your half-immortal body can't play a role. At this point, Xiaofan finally understood why psychic power cultivation methods were so precious in the immortal world. It was because the attack of psychic power ignored the enemy's physical defense and true energy defense and directly damaged the soul. After the great elder died, his body exploded. Many maps, top-grade true energy spirit stones, secret manuals, and all kinds of medicinal herbs fell out of the true acupoint. Xiaofan collected a small part of it and put it all into his storage ring. Then, he continued to walk forward. There are still a few ordinary elders and a group of demons waiting in front like dumb geese. Are they waiting for the news of my death? Ha ha ha. Interesting. The members of the combat team were still waiting. Everyone, don't move. If we move, that little bastard might be able to sense it. The Great Elder also told us not to move recklessly. An elder calmed the morale of the troops. At this moment. What? The 7 ordinary elders let out a horrified cry at the same time. Then, their eyes stared straight ahead. That little bastard, directly walked towards us, from us, several hundred meters, the Great Elder? The Great Elder! The Great Elder! A few ordinary elders screamed in a daze. Their tone contained a hint of a mental breakdown. The Great Elder went to kill Xiaofan. In the end, the Great Elder did not return. Instead, Xiaofan walked over slowly. Could it be? Little bastard. You. Our Great Elder. You. How is this possible? One of the ordinary elders shouted at Xiaofan from a distance. His voice was trembling in the wind. When he was still 500 meters away from the group of people, Xiaofan stopped and shrugged helplessly. I'm very sorry to let you get the start that you want. However, the result is not what you want. Great Elder? Well, the Great Elder has already passed away. Sigh, the Great Elder's life in your plane was outstanding. He made great achievements and became a Tao ancestor. However, I didn't expect that. Sigh. However, you don't have to be too sad. When the Great Elder passed away, he was extremely peaceful. Xiaofan smiled bitterly. Roar. In an instant, the people on the other side were petrified. All of them broke down and let out sorrowful cries and inconceivable cries. That's impossible. The Great Elder is the doyen of this plane. In his lifetime, he has killed countless demons. Even many demon thearchs have been eliminated by him. He has pacified the world and ruled over the world. He is the pillar of our plane. How could a cornerstone of our plane die here? The heavens are not fair. The Great Elder, a legendary godly person, how could he die in the hands of an acupoint expansion realm bastard? Bastard! Little bastard! You deserve to die 10,000 times. Oh! Little bastard! Little bastard! Alright. Since that's the case, all of you can go down together and accompany your Great Elder. All of you, die. Xiaofan's face was cold. With a sudden movement, the hallucinatory demonic realm with a radius of a few thousand meters. It was forcefully compressed by Xiaofan's mental power and directly engulfed the enemy troops. Boom boom boom, the continuous high-density hallucinatory demonic realm was like a meteor shower, blasting into the minds of the 7 ordinary elders and the 75 demon knights. Pooh! 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 The ones who were the most useless were those who were at the 8th level of true Qi. The formation realm demon knights had their souls and mental power crushed by the condensed hallucinatory demonic realm in an instant. They self-destructed and died. The 9th level demon knights were also unable to hold on for long. Soon, they followed in their footsteps and self-mutilated, dying in all kinds of strange ways. In just a few breaths, other than the 7 ordinary elders, a large area was filled with dismembered corpses. It was a bloody scene. It was too horrible to look at. Bastard! The 7 ordinary elders wanted to unleash a killing blow on Xiaofan, but Xiaofan controlled the hallucinatory demonic mirror, firmly suppressing them, causing their faces to turn pale and their words to become incoherent. Very quickly, all of them collapsed to the ground, trying their best to resist the external demons and heart demons. One must know that after Xiaofan completed the 15th mental finger gesture, he could slightly suppress the ordinary elders. Although he could not refine them to death, he could restrain them. Now that he had completed the 17th mental finger gesture, his mental power had increased by who knew how much. His manipulation and compression of the hallucinatory demonic realm was simply incomparable to before. About an hour later, bang bang bang, the 7 ordinary elders finally could not take it anymore and self-destructed one after the other. At this point, one of the 7 combat teams from the Rhone Plain had been annihilated. Who if it was outside, it would be impossible to kill these people. But now? I'll take this opportunity to kill them all. That's the only way to get rid of all future troubles. Xiaofan released his mental wave and scanned a range of at least 1 million meters. He firmly grasped the movements of the other 6 combat teams. The combat team closest to me is about 100,000 meters away. In this 100,000 meters, there are dozens of exits. Destroy the exits and annihilate this combat team. You still want to fight to the death with me? From now on, I, Xiaofan, will completely counterattack. Xiaohan's figure leaped and his entire body turned into an afterimage as he flew towards that combat team. A combat team about 100,000 meters away from Xiaofan. The leader was still a great elder who had opened his heavenly eye. There were 10 ordinary elders and 88 evil heroes under him. This lineup was even stronger than the combat team that Xiaohan's team had just annihilated. Xiao, the great elder, also burned his immortal body's energy and opened his heavenly eye to scan the surroundings. Great elder, have you found the location of that little bastard? Asked a normal elder. Not at the moment, said the great elder indifferently with a cold expression. However, after I open my heavenly eye, my mental wave will survey a range of 30,000 meters. Sooner or later, I'll be able to find that kid. He's just an acupoint expanding realm cultivator, but he uses despicable means to constantly harm our people. If I catch him, I'll definitely torture him to death. After a pause, the great elder waved his hand and shouted to the 88 evil heroes behind him. All of you, remember to keep your distance. Only then will you have a chance to escape if you encounter that little bastard. The 88 evil heroes behind him retreated one after another. At this moment. Oh no! The great elder's body twitched and his face turned extremely gloomy. Chapter 440. At this time, the great elder's right eyelid actually twitched crazily. His expression became more and more unsightly. Even his entire body started to tremble in fear. Great elder, what's going on? Your spirit fluctuation, could it be that you've discovered something? Did you discover that little bastard? A group of ordinary elders asked in fear. No. The great elder's throat was dry. Left eyelid twitching for wealth, right eyelid twitching for disaster. This seat suddenly had a fierce and ominous premonition, as if I suddenly lost something. There was a piercing pain. Could it be that something happened to my old brothers, the other grand elders? The ordinary grand elders were all extremely shocked. This great elder, in terms of seniority, was extremely senior in the Rhone Plain. The bold brothers he mentioned were naturally the other great elders who had opened their heaven's eyes. First elder, the other grand elders will be fine, one of the ordinary elders immediately said in a comforting tone. The other great elders are all outstanding talents in the Immortal Eye realm. They have opened their heaven's eyes and have a half-immortal body. Killing demon emperors is a piece of cake for them. How could they be injured in this illusory devil palace? That's absolutely impossible. That's true. The great elder's emotion slightly calmed down. However, us old brothers have cultivated together since we were young. We are as close as brothers and our hearts are almost connected. And just now, this seat indeed felt that a piece of flesh in my heart was forcefully gouged out. I hope that this seat's premonition is wrong. The great elder stood where he was for a moment before waving his hand. Continue forward. Now we have to be even more careful. That little bastard is definitely not so easy to deal with. Xiaofan strode like a shooting star, heading straight for the combat team. Constantly approaching. 50,000 meters, there's still 50,000 meters, but it seems that that group of idiots. They haven't discovered me yet. Xiaofan smiled casually. After killing a great elder, Xiaofan's confidence was boosted. More and more enough. Suddenly, Xiaofan's footsteps paused and his eyeballs rolled a few times. If I charge head-on like this, I'll probably be discovered by those idiots very quickly. When the time comes, the great elder will charge forward, followed by a group of ordinary elders and chivalrous heroes. I'm afraid I can't control the situation. After all, it takes a long time to refine a great elder to death. Furthermore, I cannot be distracted. I must be completely focused. Once I am pinned down by the great elder, the other ordinary elders might be able to get close to me and attack me. It seems we can't fight recklessly. Then I'll go around to the back of this combat squad and kill the dozens of demons behind them in an instant to deter the great elder. Having made up his mind, Xiaofan ran out diagonally. He had already made up his mind. He had to make a detour to avoid a head-on encounter with the great elder. Instead, he had to sneak around to the back of the squad and launch a sneak attack, catching them off guard. For Xiaofan, whose spiritual waves could cover 1,000,000 meters, it was a piece of cake for him to get to the back of the small team without being discovered by the leading great elder. All he had to do was to run a little more. It was a piece of cake for Xiaofan, whose flesh shell was as strong as that of an ancient savage beast and whose stamina was long. Poof! 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 Along the way, Xiaofan also destroyed some exits one after another. That combat squad. The great elder led the way. He opened his third eye and radiated a fan-shaped beam of light, illuminating the area tens of thousands of meters ahead. Within this area of tens of thousands of meters, the great elder's spiritual energy was also transparent and bright, penetrating the void. Behind the great elder were 10 ordinary elders, and thousands of meters behind them were 88 chivalrous heroes. I'll do my best to survey the front. You guys pay attention to the back in case of emergencies. The great elder ordered the 10 ordinary elders. Don't worry, great elder. An ordinary elder smiled indifferently. Great elder, please focus your spiritual energy on the front. As for the back. Oh, we've been walking all the way. The back should be safe. Yes, along the way, the great elder had been surveying with his third eye and walking forward from the back. Behind them were all roads that had been surveyed, so there shouldn't be any problems. As long as the front was under control, it would be fine. The great elder nodded slightly. But it's always good to be careful. More than an hour later, Xiaofan successfully avoided the great elder's third eye. He took a big detour and came to the back of the combat squad. He was about 5,000 meters away from those chivalrous heroes. Hey! After running for more than an hour, I've finally reached the back of the combat squad. That great elder is still scanning every inch of the space with his third eye. He's really stupid to think that he can see through me. Xiaofan slightly adjusted the state of his vitality and then prepared his spiritual energy. Then, he quietly approached the back of the combat squad. There were 88 chivalrous heroes in the back of this combat squad. They were mainly at the 8th level True Qi realm with a few at the 9th level True Qi realm. These chivalrous heroes were all under 10,000 years old. They were geniuses among geniuses to be able to cultivate to this level. All of them were arrogant and untamed people. But now, they were a little dispirited. Damn it, I didn't expect that we would be completely controlled by a trash plane's aperture expansion realm bastard. What a shame. I heard that many of our brothers have already been assassinated by that bastard. This old man hates him so much that his teeth are itching. If I were to bump into that bastard, I will definitely teach him a lesson. If it was an open fight, he would be able to suppress us with his powerful battle prowess and we would be convinced of his strength. But, he is actually playing tricks in the dark and making things difficult for us. We are not convinced. That's right. However, we have already encountered such misfortune before even entering the genius zone. This is not a good omen, don't talk nonsense. With Lord Roam, a few Grand Elders, and dozens of Grand Elders, the competition in our plane is still very strong. Now that we have suffered a setback, it is a good chance to sharpen our temperament. Now, we are much more stable and our true acupoints are becoming more stable. Close to 2,000 meters, we have reached the attack range. When Xiaofan was about 2,000 meters away from those chivalrous heroes, he stopped in his tracks. That great elder and those ordinary elders are indeed idiots. They only care about monitoring the front and completely ignore the back. Then, let me light a fire for you all. In an instant, Xiaofan's mental energy moved. Boom boom boom, without any warning, Xiaofan directly triggered the hallucinatory demonic realm within a few thousand meters and compressed it before enveloping the group of chivalrous heroes. Caught off guard. The 88 chivalrous heroes were all surrounded by the hallucinatory demonic realm. The hallucinatory demonic realm was like a flood dragon or a nightmare. It was like a death-hastening talisman that drilled into their minds. In less than 2 breaths, pang, 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 pang. One by one, their minds collapsed and they fell into a trance. All of them self-destructed and died. The ground was filled with dismembered corpses. What is going on? What happened at the back? 10 ordinary elders. Terrified, the moment they turned around, a thick stench of blood assaulted their nostrils. Roar! Dead! They are all dead. All the chivalrous heroes were annihilated. Roar! The great elder suddenly turned around and let out a heart-wrenching scream. It was as if his parents had died. The blood-crying ape wailed. Evil creature! He killed nearly 100 geniuses of my plane in an instant. He wants to destroy my plane. Roar! However, while these elders were still screaming, Xiaofan had already turned around and fled. He was already far away. The great elder led 10 ordinary elders and chased after Xiaofan aggressively. They grimaced and their eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. All of them seemed to have gone crazy and lost their minds. However, their flesh shells were far weaker than Xiaofan's. Their running ability and physical strength were inferior to Xiaofan's. Half an hour later, Xiaofan left them far behind. Cool, Xiaofan slowed down. I killed dozens of evil heroes at once. Those elders will probably vomit blood in anger, right? That's right, I'll kill some of the fiends first. Then, tomorrow, I'll be able to complete the 18th spiritual finger incantation, and even the 19th spiritual finger incantation. Furthermore, the density and danger of the hallucinatory demonic realm in the demon palace will increase by another 10 times, suppressing them. In this way, I'll be able to kill the elder ranks even more easily. Soon, Xiaofan came up with the perfect killing plan in his mind. Kill all the evil heroes first. With this plan, Xiaofan selectively destroyed the exits along the way. Then, he ran in circles and sneaked to the back of each combat team. Coincidentally, the formation of each combat team was with the Great Elder and ordinary elders in front. Thousands of meters behind them was a large group of evil heroes. This formation gave Xiaofan the perfect opportunity to assassinate the third combat team. Xiaofan sneaked to the back and easily activated the hallucinatory demonic realm. He killed a large group of evil heroes and escaped calmly. From afar, he could hear the elders and great elder wailing like ghosts and howling like wolves. The fourth combat team, the evil heroes were slaughtered by Xiaofan. The fifth combat team, the evil heroes were exterminated by Xiaofan. The sixth combat team, the evil heroes were wiped out in an instant. The seventh combat team. This seventh combat team was led by Rong himself. Behind them were dozens of evil heroes. For the sake of stability, Xiaofan did not go to kill the evil heroes of the 7th combat team to avoid encountering Rong. Night fell. Let's find a place to rest for the night. I've killed a lot of people today and activated the hallucinatory demonic realm many times. This has made me very tired. Xiaofan yawned. Tiredness washed over him like a tide. He released his mental strength. While avoiding the enemy's pursuit, he destroyed the possible exits that the enemy could find. Finally, he ran far away, found an area that the enemy could not find, and fell asleep. Today, he had killed hundreds of people and even killed a great elder. Xiaofan could not take it anymore. He was extremely tired and sleepy. He even felt like he had overdrawn his energy. He needed a good rest to replenish his mental strength. He would continue killing tomorrow. And in the entire hallucinatory demonic palace, the elders of the Rong Plain were crying, cursing, beating their chests and stamping their feet. Today, what Xiaofan had done was no less than a devastating disaster for the Rong Plain. Chapter 441. Hallucinatory Demon Palace. Deep into the night, Xiaofan found a simple yet elegant courtyard with beautiful bedding inside. Xiaofan covered his head and slept. The sky was dark. Of course, with Xiaofan's current mental strength, even if he was sleeping soundly, he would still be able to sense if someone was within a kilometer of him. The night was silent. The first ray of golden light in the morning jumped in through the window lattice and shattered into mottled pieces of gold, sprinkling wantonly in the room. A few pieces of gold were like playful elves, lingering on Xiaofan's young and handsome face. Xiaofan's eyelashes blinked a few times and then he opened his eyes. A ray of light flashed through his eyes, like a bolt of lightning in the dark night. Comfortable, really comfortable. After a carefree night's sleep, Xiaofan's entire body was now full of vitality and his spirit was extremely full. The liquid mental strength star in his brain was very compact and round. As it rotated, it refracted a mysterious and profound pattern. The mental strength that was consumed yesterday was already perfectly replenished. Xiaofan walked out slowly. Outside, the entire hallucinatory demon palace seemed to be extremely depressed. The sky seemed to have sunk down, like an airtight pot lid. In every inch of space, there was a visible hallucinatory demon realm roaring and roaring, condensing into all kinds of monsters, demons, ghosts, and demon beasts, devouring the human world and choosing people to eat. Today's hallucinatory demon realm's density and degree of danger has increased by another 10 times. Xiaofan smiled slightly. This hallucinatory demon palace is really getting more and more dangerous day by day. After killing Narong, should quickly teleport out. At this moment, Xiaofan's ears had a clear auditory hallucination. On the 4th day of hallucinatory demon palace, the density of hallucinatory demon realm has increased by 30 times, and the degree of danger has increased by 30 times. 1,000 exits, 212 left. There are still 212 exits left. Xiaofan was slightly happy in his heart. 1,000 exits. So far, he had already used up 788 exits. However, this did not mean that he had teleported out 788 evil heroes. In fact, most of them had exits. They were all destroyed by Xiaofan, presumably, those guys from Narong's plane. After hearing that there are only 212 exits left, they must be extremely nervous and anxious, right? Xiaofan shook his head and laughed. Moreover, Xiaofan already knew the exact location of the remaining 212 exits yesterday. He could easily find any one of them. This caused Xiaofan to be in a completely invincible position within the illusory Devil Palace. Spiritual fluctuations radiated outwards, however. Today, Xiaofan's mental fluctuations had been affected by the high-density hallucinatory demonic realm suppression, and his sensing range had been reduced from 1 million meters yesterday. It was forcefully compressed to around 300,000 meters. Moreover, in this high-density hallucinatory demonic realm, the mind power star in Xiaofan's sea of consciousness began to feel restricted. It was extremely difficult. In this level of the hallucinatory demonic realm, even I, with my tyrannical mental strength, would be greatly affected. Although I wouldn't turn into a demon, would still be restricted in every aspect. That Rong and the other elders, Great Elder, are also having a hard time right now? Xiaofan released his psychic wave and scanned the area within 300,000 meters, but he couldn't find any trace of the enemy. In the next moment, Xiaofan started to wander around, searching for the most crowded and chaotic parts of the hallucinatory demonic realm. Xiaofan was clear that the denser the hallucinatory demonic realm, the more rampant it was, the more beneficial it would be for him to cultivate the extinguishing sky decimating earth mental technique. Today, I'll try to break through the 18th and 19th mental finger seals. Under such a high-density hallucinatory demonic realm, I should be able to complete it. A hint of determination flashed through Xiaohan's eyes. Very quickly, Xiaofan found a whirlpool-like area within the hallucinatory demonic realm. The space here was extremely unstable. Every inch of space was filled with densely packed hallucinatory demonic realms, causing the space to show signs of collapsing and rupturing. This is too good. It's suitable for my cultivation. Xiaofan beamed with joy. After slightly brewing the liquid mind power star in his sea of consciousness, he stepped into the whirlpool area, sat cross-legged, and formed seals with both of his hands. In an instant, like an ancient giant beast breathing in and out, swallowing the sun and moon, spitting out rivers, the space within a radius of several thousand meters collapsed towards Xiaofan. Numerous hallucinatory demonic realms surged into Xiaohan's sea of consciousness, refining them without any regard for their lives. Hallucinatory Demonic Palace. The 7 combat squads that Rong had assigned had already been defeated by Xiaofan one by one. Hundreds of elite evil warriors had died and withered, causing the 7 combat squads to return to 1. At this moment, Rong's face was completely ashen. The muscles on his face twitched intermittently, and there was an obvious shift in his facial features, causing some changes to his appearance. He became more ferocious and evil. His eyes were filled with resentment and hatred. Under Rong's command, there were only 5 great elders, 30 ordinary elders, and 128 evil warriors left. Less than 200 people. One must know that when Rong led a large army to leave his hometown for the Genius Zone, he was full of vigor, heroic, and insufferably arrogant. Each and every one of them had great ideals, great ambitions, and dreamed of becoming immortals. They were eager to give it a try. When they parted, they were all filled with lofty sentiments and lofty aspirations, looking down on the world. And now, there were heavy casualties. Less than 1 in 10 survivors. Quite a few of the elders had died. Even one of the great elders had fallen. The fall of the great elder was definitely a devastating blow to this plane. It was irreparable. Because in the years to come, this plane might not be able to have a new great elder. Roar. Goddamn bastard. I can't vent my hatred even if I die 10,000 times. The survivors all let out heart-wrenching screams as if they had lost their parents. Rong, on the other hand, did not speak. His face was terrifyingly gloomy. It was as if he was silently brewing a storm of destruction. After hundreds of breaths, there are still 212 exits left. Rong finally spoke. His voice was so cold that it made people's souls feel as if they had fallen into an ice cellar. All of a sudden, the wailing elders and evil warriors were silent. They all looked at Rong with their mouths agape. In a short period of time. That little bastard. He destroyed the exits repeatedly, leaving only 212 exits. I believe that after today, the number of exits will decrease sharply. The number of exits would decrease sharply. At that time. Even if he doesn't come to kill us, we will all be trapped in this damned demon palace. Rong looked around. At present, other than him and a few elders, the rest of the evil heroes all had depressed expressions on their faces. They looked very tired. They almost didn't dare to take a deep breath. It seemed that if they relaxed a little, the hallucinatory demonic realm that wandered in every inch of space would invade their hearts and break through their psychological defenses, causing them to be possessed. You guys can't hold on any longer, right? Rome said indifferently. Rome, Lord Rome, we can still barely hold on today, but once we enter tomorrow, I'm afraid it will be difficult. Difficult to resist. At any time tomorrow, we may instantly become possessed. The evil warriors. Their faces were full of bitterness. Lord Rome, we must find the exit today. A few ordinary elders were also complaining incessantly. Lord Rome. We can only hold on for 3 or 5 days at most. 3 or 5 days? Rome roared in exasperation. Do you think that after 3 or 5 days, there will still be an exit left for us? With that little bastard's temperament, I'm afraid that he will destroy all the exits today, leaving only one exit for himself. Damn it! Lord Rome. A great elder wailed in despair. It's not that we can't find the exit. We will always be able to find the exit, but all of them have been destroyed by that bastard. Lord Rome, are we going to die just like that? A few great elders had thrown away their dignity and reservedness, as though they were young wives who had been wronged. Right now, we can't even catch him, and we can't even lock onto his location. Furthermore, he already has the ability to assassinate elders. We're doomed. Lord Rome, are we already forced into a corner, with no chance of turning the tables? Are we going to suffer a crushing defeat? We've been heroes for our entire lives, but all of us are going to die here, in the hands of an unknown expanded aperture realm small fry. Lord Rome, we don't want to die. In our own plane, we have been domineering, ruling over the world, ruling over billions of lives, wielding power over them. We don't want to die. Sorrowful cries spread in all directions like dark clouds. Other than Rome, the rest of the people started to wipe away their tears. There's only death. Rome clenched his teeth and said word by word. There's still a chance. At this moment, Xiao, 38 demons from the revered plane appeared in all directions. The leader was a red-robed young man who was at true Qi level 9 true treasure realm. He was a valiant and heroic young man. In the revered plane, he was a top-notch genius with unparalleled charm. Lord Rome, fortunately, I didn't fail you. The red-robed young man bowed. We've been searching the illusory devil palace with all our might, and we've finally captured some of the demons from that trash plane. Immediately, 11 demon heroes from Xiaofan's dimension had their hands and feet tightly bound by true Qi shackles and were pushed to Rome's side. Kneel down. The red-robed young man stretched out his right hand, and with a jolt of his true Qi, the 11 captured demons all knelt down. If you want to kill us, then kill us. One of the demons raised his eyes in anger. His body was contorted and trembled in anger. You bastards who bully the weak. If you want to kill us, then kill us. Don't be long-winded. Among the 11 captured demons, 3 of them were at the true Qi level 8 true Qi level talisman formation realm, and the remaining 8 were at the true Qi level 7 true Qi level talisman formation realm. At this moment, the 3 of them were still able to resist the illusory devil realm, but the 8 of them were all at the true Qi level 7 true Qi level. Their faces were green, their eyes were tightly shut, and they were foaming at the mouth. It was as if they could die at any moment. The one who talked back to Rome was an 8th level demon, and he was also a tough man. Humph. Rome's eyes were filled with viciousness. Suddenly, the index and middle fingers of his right hand clawed out. Pooh! Pooh! The eyeballs of the demon hero, who was at the 8th stage of true Qi, were dug out and burst out. Fresh blood spurted out. Roar! The 8th level demon was in so much pain that his whole body was convulsing. However, his bones were very tough, and he was determined to not show any weakness and wail. Ants like you. If it wasn't for the fact that you still have a trace of value, I would have crushed your bones and scattered your ashes with one finger. Rome smiled cruelly. Then, listen up, we've already been forced into a dead end by that little bastard. He's too sinister and cunning, giving us absolutely no chance to turn the tables. However, the last trace of hope lies with the demons from this trash plane. The corner of Rome's mouth pulled into a perverted smile. That little bastard has been unwilling to find the exit to teleport out. It's probably because he's taking care of the demons from their plane. He wants the demons from their plane to be able to escape one by one. Now, we've captured 11 demons from their trash plane. With them as bait, let's see if we can lure that little bastard out. This is the last chance. Chapter 442. As it turned out, this Rome had deliberately arranged for a group of evil heroes to search for and capture the evil heroes from Xiaofan's plane in order to hold the hostages. Using these hostages to lure Xiaofan out of his hole. This was originally a trick used by some lowly scoundrels. As the leader of a plane, a half-immortal body absolutely could not use this kind of method. After all, it was too dirty, too despicable. However, after being forced into a dead end, Rome did not care anymore. He was completely shameless. Now, we will take these pigs and wander around the illusory demon palace. Also, we will release spirit waves to send sound transmissions. From now on, every 4 hours, we will kill one. As long as that little bastard does not appear, we will kill one hostage every 4 hours. Rome looked at the 11 evil heroes with the eyes of looking at pigs and dogs, and laughed sinisterly. Now, let's see if the young hero of your plane cares about your lives. Ha 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 ha. You better shout for help, so that he will come and save you. Ha 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 ha, no. No. Don't. Don't kill us. A sexy female evil hero with long chestnut-colored hair had the temperament of a peerless beauty. At this moment, her true chi was at the 8th level formation realm. At this moment, her eyes were filled with fear as she looked around. Don't kill us, no. Your life and death are completely in the hands of that young man. It has nothing to do with me. I am only responsible for killing one person every 4 hours. Rome laughed extremely uncontrollably. Her entire person inadvertently revealed a kind of demented feeling. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, the evil hero who had his eyes gouged out stretched his neck and laughed. Within his laughter, there was an indescribable sense of ridicule. Ha 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 ha, a dignified evil hero leader of a large plane actually thought of such a sneaky trick. Ha ha ha. What a shame. What a great shame, shut up. Rong Lao was embarrassed into anger and directly waved his hand. The evil hero's tongue was also gouged out. The evil hero's face was covered in blood, and he fainted from the pain. Alright, don't waste time. We are afraid of any changes. With the Great Elder as the leader, everyone spread out. They all spread out and spread the news of the hostage quickly so that the little bastard would know about it. These hostages are temporarily detained in my hands. Rong Lao ordered. Xiaofan swallowed the 10,000-meter-long hallucinatory magic land, and his brain was burning hot. They were all boiling up, emitting poochie-poochie sounds. All right. The accumulation should be enough. Charge. The 18th Spirit Finger Technique. Xiaofan's body trembled, and his hands began to form seals like butterflies. He had mastered all kinds of profound and obscure hand gestures. They were linked together like magic, ethereal and illusory, overflowing with an immortal charm. As Xiaofan made a series of hand gestures, the mind power star in his sea of consciousness shrank continuously. The expansion and compression seemed to be the perfect preparation and accumulation for the final eruption. As Xiaofan cultivated step by step, the area he was in began to change. After absorbing the hallucinatory demonic domain, the entire space was filled with a myriad of colors, and all kinds of illusions appeared. Immortals, palaces, immortal formations, fiends, demons, wind, and clouds appeared one after another. Then, all of them were absorbed into Xiaofan's sea of consciousness. 2 hours later, the 18 spiritual finger seals were completed with a bang. Perfect. Everything was done in one go. There was no pause in the middle. Suddenly, the liquid mind power star in Xiaofan's sea of consciousness emitted the sound of metal colliding. The density of the entire liquid mind power star was almost close to that of a solid. It clearly transmitted the fluctuation of solidified mind power. Now that I have completed the 18th spiritual finger seal, I can already reform most talisman formation realm people. The success rate is very high. I can erase their ego in one go, and make them willing to become my slave, just like Brother Yen. Xiaofan nodded his head in satisfaction. Then, Xiaofan released his mind power again. His mind power, which was originally suppressed to 300,000 meters, was now released, and could directly spread out to 1.5 million meters. It almost covered the entire hallucinatory demonic palace perfectly. It was just a simple completion of one more spiritual finger seal, but to Xiaofan, the growth of his mind power was not just a little bit. However, at this moment, a wisp of mind power transmitted into Xiaofan's ears. Little bastard. Listen to me. Right now, there are 11 demon heroes in your plane that have been captured by us. If you don't want them to die, you better show yourself and we can talk face to face. Otherwise, we will kill one person every 4 hours. Little bastard, aren't you righteous? Ha 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 ha, now, your companions are in our hands. Ha ha ha. You also don't want to watch them die, right? Ha ha ha. Listen carefully. Whether you can save their lives or not, it's up to you to decide. If you don't show yourself, then, we will perish together. Then, we will torture your companions to death one by one. What? Xiaofan's heart trembled slightly, and he used his mind power. A few great elders who had opened their heaven eyes led the ordinary elders to run around, spreading mind power and transmitting their mind power. Each of them had a very ferocious and evil expression on their faces. At a place more than 100,000 meters away from Xiaofan, Narong led hundreds of demon heroes and stood coldly in a public square. In the public square, there were 11 demon heroes from Xiaofan's plane kneeling. Oh no! Seeing this, Xiaofan's heart slightly tightened. We actually have 11 people captured alive. Xiaofan also sighed inwardly. After entering the demon palace, Xiaofan had been secretly helping the demon heroes from his plane, so that they could smoothly find the exit and teleport out. With Xiaofan's help, there were at least dozens of demon heroes who escaped from the demon palace. However, in such a big demon palace, it was impossible for Xiaofan to take care of everything. Moreover, Xiaofan also had to divide a lot of energy to deal with those elder level. Now, at the last moment, there were still 11 demon heroes who were captured alive. At this moment, Narong was in the public square, constantly sending out mind power and transmitting his mind power. Because Xiaofan's mind power was too tyrannical and sharp, even though they were more than 100,000 meters apart. Xiaofan could also vaguely catch Narong's transmission. Narong's expression was ferocious and fierce. Like a demon from hell, his facial features shifted and smoke came out of his 7 orifices. Little bastard. The time limit of 4 hours is up. This seed is going to start killing. Ha ha ha. Don't you have a sense of justice? Haven't you always been acting as a savior? Ha ha ha. Now you want to ignore your companions? Ha ha ha. Don't think that this seat doesn't dare to make a move. You killed so many demon heroes from our plane. Now, this seed is also coming to collect some interest. The time limit of 4 hours is up. As his voice fell, Narong grabbed with his right hand. He directly grabbed a demon hero who was kneeling on the ground and lightly squeezed. Bang! That demon hero's entire body exploded. Ah! No! Xiaofan! Come and save us! Xiaofan. You absolutely can't watch us die and not save us. He will really kill us all. Xiaofan. The remaining 10 demon heroes, a few of them all started wailing, wailing and wailing. Time again. From now on. After 4 hours, this seat will kill another person. Na Rong said coldly. Motherf asterisk cur. Xiaofan cursed in his heart. Although those captured demon heroes had no friendship with Xiaofan himself, they came from the same plane after all. Now that Xiaofan saw them being casually killed by people from other planes, he couldn't help but have a feeling of the fox mourning the death of the rabbit. Go and save them? Xiaofan's footsteps involuntarily walked towards where Na Rong was. This Na Rong is really deranged. He will definitely kill all the remaining people. It seems that he really has to fight me for the last time. However, this Na Rong is the leader of that plane. His battle strength is even higher than those great elders. If I directly go and save them. This. Xiaofan walked and pondered. In the plaza. Na Rong's facial expression became even more morbid. He directly pointed at the beautiful woman who was kneeling on the plaza, a demon hero with an 8th level True Chi Talisman Formation realm. Pull this slut out. Immediately, a few chivalrous heroes rushed forward. Like wolves and tigers, they dragged the female chivalrous hero out. Listen, after 4 hours, if that little bastard still doesn't appear, then. You guys. Na Rong looked around and saw that there were hundreds of male demon heroes. All of you, take turns to ravage this slut. These demon heroes were slightly stunned when they heard this. Lord Rong, this seems a little inappropriate. Why don't we just directly kill her? If we violate her, it seems to be a loss of face. A few demon heroes whispered. Shut up. After 4 hours, all of you put in more effort and properly play with this slut. I want to see if that little bastard will appear or not. Ha 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 ha. Na Rong hissed and transmitted the message. Little bastard, you're called Xiaofan, right? Listen carefully. Xiaofan, if you don't show yourself in 4 hours, then this be asterisk tch in your realm will be killed by the wheel of death. Ha 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 ha. Wahahaha. A thought flashed through Na Rong's mind. With my cultivation, I can open my heaven's eye and concentrate my mental force to a high degree. Regardless of the cost, my maximum attack range can reach 2,000 meters. Of course, burning my life's potential and even burning my immortal body will have a huge side effect. After I leave this illusory devil palace, I will no longer be able to compete with the geniuses in the genius zone. However, I can't care so much. I must fight to the death and kill that kid. 2,000 meters. As long as he comes within 2,000 meters, I have a 99% chance of killing him. By burning his half-celestial body, Na Rong could increase his maximum attack power to a range of 2,000 meters. However, if he did that, his vitality would be greatly injured and his cultivation base would drop. Even his heaven's eye would be closed. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Na Rong wouldn't do that. Now, it was a matter of life and death. Bastard! Xiaofan gnashed his teeth in anger. His heart was filled with killing intent. He's simply a bastard. Although I, Xiaofan, have a murderous nature, I've never used this kind of method against my enemies. This Na Rong is worse than a pig or a dog. After 4 hours, that woman will be. Xiaofan's heart was also in a mess. Since things had come to this, Xiaofan couldn't ignore it anymore. I can't let that woman be raped. If he killed her directly, I might be able to endure it. After all, these fellows aren't friends with me. But now, he actually used such a sinister method. Xiaofan was deep in thought as he walked. I must think of a way that satisfies both sides. Not only can I save the hostage, but I can also ensure that I won't be surrounded by those fellows from Narong's plane. Xiaofan was very clear that although his mental force was bursting, if he fought with Narong one-on-one, he would still be at a disadvantage even if he had the advantage of time and place. Once he was caught in a fight, he wouldn't be able to be distracted. If the great elders under Narong took the opportunity to surround him, Xiaofan would probably be in trouble. Chapter 443. Although Xiaofan had never been a good person, but to make him watch the women of his plane being trampled on and not do anything, he still could not do it. Rong's despicable actions aroused Xiaofan's hot-bloodedness. Rong, I will definitely not let this matter rest. Xiaofan walked towards the plaza where Rong was as he spread out his mental fluctuations. Suddenly, Xiaofan discovered that about 50,000 meters away from him, a great elder was leading 2 ordinary elders, as well as 5 Wuxia, currently wandering in the demon palace. That great elder and the 2 ordinary elders were clamoring non-stop, their mental fluctuations sending out messages, "Little bastard. Unforgivable little bastard. You're just a lowly thief. When things come to a head, you can only be a turtle hiding in its shell. If you really have the ability, you can come out and fight. Coward. Humph. You should also know that one of the Wuxia from your plane has already been executed by our Lord Rong. What? Aren't you very arrogant? You're actually doing nothing as you watch the people of your plane being executed right in front of your eyes? Ha ha ha. You're just a cowardly rat. Ha ha ha. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. Little bastard. 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 The few of them continued to curse and vent their hatred and fear through the most vicious language possible. Damn it. Looking for death. Xiaofan's heart was filled with rage, casually destroying the few exits that he saw, and then quickly walked towards those people. I'll kill you first before talking. However, after walking a few steps, a flash of inspiration suddenly flashed into Xiaofan's mind. A sudden thought came to Xiaofan's mind in an extremely short amount of time. It was brewing and taking shape. To save the 10 hostages controlled by Rong, why not? I give him a diversion. 50,000 meters away from Xiaofan, a great elder. 2 ordinary elders, as well as 5 Wuxia at the 8th level True Qi realm. They formed a small team, wantonly sending out their mental fluctuations and sound waves along the way, cursing Xiaofan non-stop. He wanted to provoke Xiaofan into going to the square to save the hostages. That way, Rong would have the opportunity to blast Xiaofan into pieces. Grand Elder, please speak. If we challenge him like this, will that little bastard show himself? An elder asked apprehensively. Now, what I'm afraid of is that little bastard being stubborn. Instead, they're playing tricks in the dark and continue to destroy those exits. Humph. The great elder's face darkened. No matter what, this is our last chance of survival. If that little bastard refuses to take the bait, then, we can only wait for death in this demon palace. The 5 chivalrous swordsmen trembled in fear. They all wailed at the same time. Elders, the hallucinatory demonic realm in this demon palace is becoming more and more vicious. If this continues, the density and danger will increase by 10 times every day. I'm afraid we won't be able to live past tomorrow. Die. We're about to die. How tragic. We set off from our hometown with ambition, wanting to go to the genius zone to display our potential and glory, and get a share of immortal Emperor Zhu Dao's treasures. We never thought that we would die here. I don't want to die. We don't want to die. Woo woo. Woo woo woo. Elders, we really don't want to die. Why is it like this? Fate is unfair. In the end, these 5 Wuxia were like children, wailing and unable to control themselves. Our real age hasn't even reached 10,000 years old. Our future is bright. We can still live for an endless amount of time and enjoy endless glory and wealth. Woo 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 woo. Why do we have to die? It's so bitter. I regret going to the genius zone. I regret it. If I stayed in my hometown, everything would be fine, and I could live freely in the mortal world. Why did I come here to die? Shut up. So noisy. Who wants to die? You don't want to die, but I do. The first elder was enraged. When he saw the 5 fiend heroes wailing endlessly, he was infuriated. With a flick of his sleeve, he sent the 5 fiend heroes flying. Pfft! The 5 chivalrous warriors all vomited blood and fell to the ground, screaming in pain. So annoying. The great elder cursed. All of you used to be the most outstanding geniuses in your hometown. You're unruly and domineering. But now, in such a critical moment, you're making a fool of yourselves. You don't even have the slightest bit of backbone. What's the use of you? Trash. Now, I've seen the faces of you idiots. All of you are trash. You can't achieve anything. Even if you don't die now, you'll still be the target of the people from the other planes when you go to the genius zone. You might as well die now. Humph. Let's go. We don't need to care about these trash anymore. The great elder shouted to the 2 ordinary elders. This. Great elder, I'm afraid it's not appropriate to leave these Wuxia here. If they encounter that little bastard, they'll die instantly. The 2 ordinary elders pleaded. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, the great elder let out a maniacal laugh. It was hysterical and morbid. Die. After today, they'll die. If they can't catch that little bastard, they'll die too. Not only will they die, but we will also die. Life and death are not that important now, do you know? Ha 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 ha. Let's go. Let's continue to move forward, spread the news, shout, and gamble on our luck. Ha ha ha. Die. The great elder was a little disheartened. He walked forward without looking back. The 2 ordinary elders looked at each other and sighed. They followed the great elder with their heads down. The 3 of them gradually walked further and further away. Their backs were very lonely, very helpless, and also very unwilling. The 5 Wuxia who were lying on the ground coughed blood and howled, no longer getting up. Die. In the end, we can't escape death. Don't waste your efforts. All of you die. We'll all be buried here. Lord Rong will also die here. Many elders will also die here. Ha ha ha. It's over. Our plane is really finished. How regretful, how regretful. If only, when we encountered that trash plane, we could get along with them calmly, not be so overbearing, not be their enemy, and even befriend them. I'm afraid we wouldn't have to suffer this misfortune. How regretful. Forget it, forget it. There's no point in talking anymore. Let's just die here quietly. At this moment, Xiaofan was quickly approaching. His mind was constantly calculating. 1 great elder, 2 ordinary elders, 5 Wuxia who are at the 8th level of true qi. If I can temporarily distract the 3 elders, or if I can forcefully kill the 3 elders, then the 5 Wuxia will all be purified. If I can purify them all, then my plan might succeed. Let's do it. After killing the 3 elders, I have now completed 18 spirit finger incantations. Compared to yesterday, my spirit power is like a different person. Triggering the tide of the hallucinatory demonic realm and compressing the hallucinatory demonic realm is a step further. Yesterday, I spent a few hours to refine a great elder to death. But today, I'm afraid I can refine a great elder and 2 ordinary elders to death together. So, Xiaohan's plan was, to purify the 5 Wuxia who are at the 8th level of true qi and then use them to go to the square and distract Rong. Luring the tiger away from the mountain, instantly rescuing the 10 Wuxia companions who were kneeling in the square. Xiaohan's mind was constantly calculating, gradually perfecting his plan. To extract the hallucinatory demonic realm from the air and attack those elders, with my current spirit power, I can do it within a range of about 3 to 4,000 meters, at this moment. Xiaofan scanned with his spirit power and discovered that the Great Elder and the 2 ordinary elders had separated from the 5 Wuxia who were at the 8th level of true qi. These guys seem to be fighting amongst themselves. In the next moment, Xiaofan's expression was filled with surprise. That's great. 4 hours later, that woman will be ravaged to death. I must achieve my plan within 4 hours. If I were to refine those 3 elders to death, I'm afraid it would take a lot of time. Now, those 3 elders have actually separated from the 5 Wuxia. This is a godsend opportunity. Ha 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 ha. With this thought, Xiaofan ran madly and made a big detour, avoiding the Great Elder and the 2 ordinary elders, and approached the back of the 5 Wuxia. After half an hour, Xiaofan finally sneaked up to the back of the 5 chivalrous men without anyone noticing. At this moment, the 5 Wuxia were all lying on the ground with blood flowing from the corners of their mouths. Their eyes were extremely dull as they looked at the sky foolishly. One by one, they actually began to talk nonsense. So beautiful. The sunset. Brothers, the sunset has appeared in the sky. Extremely gorgeous. Ah. There's a fairy. There's a fairy riding a crane. Descending to the mortal world. Ha ha ha. Secret manuals. A mountain of godly secret manuals. There's no lack of celestial techniques. That's great. We brothers actually found the cave abode left by an immortal. Ha ha ha. The rise of us brothers is simply arranged by the heavens. It's unstoppable. Xiaofan was about 1,000 meters away from the 5 people and slowly approached them. He spread out his mental strength and scanned the 5 Wuxia. These fellows have already started to be bewitched. Their mental energy has already been broken by the hallucinatory magic mirror. Even if I don't deal with them now, in another 1 to 4 hours, they will completely lose their rationality and self-detonate. If that's the case, it'll be even easier for me to reform them. They're already half crippled. When I reform them, their minds won't resist at all. Instead, they'll completely open up their minds. Ha ha ha. The heavens are on my side. Let's begin. Xiaofan sat cross-legged. The mental strength star in his sea of consciousness surged and surged. Thousands of strands of mental strength came out of the shell. Suddenly, Xiaofan pinched his hands and made a hand seal in his dantian. His entire body emitted an ancient Buddha's light. At the same time, Xiaofan's face also became compassionate, as if he was going to deliver all living beings from suffering. Xiao, 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 5 incomparably thick mental strength, like 5 flood dragons, directly rushed out of Xiaofan's sea of consciousness and shrouded the 5 Wuxia. Boom, 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 in an instant, the 5 mental strength flood dragons blasted into the 5 Wuxia's sea of consciousness at the same time. Ah! Suddenly, the 5 Wuxia burst out screaming like pigs being slaughtered. They rolled on the ground, wailed, and drilled holes. Xiaofan's solemn face was motionless. His mental strength was breaking through the 5 Wuxia's soul defense inch by inch, erasing their ego and planting their faith. It's even easier than purifying Yen Lang. These 5 people have already been possessed. Their souls are almost defenseless, as if they exist in name only. Suddenly, Xiaofan's spirit was greatly lifted. His hands formed a series of hand seals, and his mouth let out the sound of the great Tao. I have successfully branded my aura in the souls of the 5 of you. Now, you can't betray me for the rest of your lives. You must be willing to be my slaves and puppets. Even if I ask you to commit suicide immediately, you must not hesitate. At this moment, suddenly, the 5 Wuxia stood up at the same time, and immediately knelt down in front of Xiaofan. They worshipped sincerely, kowtowing like pounding garlic. Their eyes flashed with crazy faith and blind worship, and they kept saying, "Thank you, Master, for helping us resolve our evil fate." At this moment, our mood has never been so calm. Everything that happened in the past is a sin. Now, only by serving under Master with peace of mind and bravely striving to be the first can we reduce the guilt on our conscience. In the whole world, apart from Master, everything else is a fleeting cloud, everything is an illusion. Only Master is real, he is the king. Long live Master, long live Master. Long live Master. Chapter 444. Xiaofan successfully converted the 5 Yao heroes from the Rong plane into his slaves. These 5 Yao heroes were all at the 8th level formation realm. Xiaofan had now completed the 18th set of spirit finger incantation and fulfilled the conditions to convert most of the 8th level formation realm. Of course, it was also because these 5 Yao heroes had already been possessed by the devil beforehand. Their minds and souls had already collapsed and their soul defense was useless. That was why Xiaofan could convert them without any effort. Come here quickly. Xiaofan smiled in satisfaction. He sent a soul message to the 5 slaves, ordering them to move. Just like how he had enlightened Yan Lang, Xiaofan's soul now naturally formed a mysterious connection with the 5 evil heroes. The 6 of them had formed a contract relationship. And it was obvious that this was not an equal contract, it was a master-servant contract. Not long after, greetings, Master. The 5 Yao heroes had already come to Xiaofan's side. Judging from his appearance, all of their faces were almost flattering. Between their eyebrows, all of them were sincere worship towards Xiaofan. What made Xiaofan feel very interesting and fresh was that when he looked at these 5 Yao heroes, he even had an illusion. It was as if he was looking at 5 hunting dogs that he had raised. 5 loyal dogs. Or 5 squirrels, 5 tabby cats that knew how to wag their tails and beg for pity in front of their master. What was even more unbelievable was that Xiaofan had planted his own imprint in the souls of these 5 Yao heroes. With just a thought, he could erase the divine souls of these 5 Yao heroes. And converting 8-level true qi is not a problem. However, if I can solidify my mental strength, then I can directly convert 9-level true qi. That is truly invincible. Xiaofan smiled faintly. Master, what orders do you have? The 5 Yao hero slaves asked in an extremely attentive tone. Xiaofan's spirit wave swept through the current situation of the entire illusory devil palace. Then, he licked his lips. There are still about 2 hours left before Rome gives the order to kill that woman. In these 2 hours, I have to carefully think and plan. This will make this operation flawless. To the current Xiaofan, Rome was still a giant and invincible character. Xiaofan's actions could not be said to be without risk, and the slightest mistake could cause the entire game to be lost. Thus, before they took action, they had to make sure everything was in place. Master, what's the plan? The 5 demons asked one after another. Suddenly, Xiaofan squatted down, and a strand of saber intent gathered on his right fingertip. The next moment, Xiaofan moved his fingers as if they were flying. The ground was sliced open by the invisible saber intent like tofu, leaving the ground in disarray. Soon, Xiaofan used his saber intent to carve out a map. The 5 of you, listen up. Xiaofan pointed at the map. 5 devil hero slaves. He immediately squatted down and focused his attention on the map that Xiaofan had drawn. About 50,000 meters away from here, there's a square. The leader of your dimension, Rome, has captured 10 of my fellow countrymen as hostages to lure me into the trap. Xiaofan began to explain with rapt attention. Rome, this bastard, he actually dared to conspire against Master. What a heinous crime. Once they heard Xiaofan's words, these few slaves growled indignantly. In the voice, there was a deep resentment. They condemned Rome in both words and in writing, as if all of them could not wait to rush up and fight with Rome. Protecting the Master. This was the slave protecting the Master. In the past, Rome was the leader of the dimension that these 5 demons were in. Thus, when these demons faced Rong, they were all respectful and respectful. All of them were extremely respectful, afraid that they would make a mistake. But now, the situation was completely different. They had become Xiaofan's loyal servants, and all of them treated Xiaofan as their master. If anyone tried to make things difficult for their master, they would risk their lives to protect their master's dignity. Even if it was Rong, as long as he was Xiaofan's enemy, he was no exception. Yes. Master, Rong has indeed deliberately designed such a trap. He wants to use the hostages to lure Master into the trap. Master, you must not be fooled. This fellow Rong is cruel and unscrupulous. As a supreme martial artist who has opened the heaven's eye, he actually disregarded his identity and kidnapped some 7th and 8th level true Qi weaklings. His behavior is indeed despicable and despicable. We are all ashamed to be associated with Rong. Alright, don't be long-winded. Listen to my orders. Xiaofan impatiently glanced at the 5 chattering demons, causing them to immediately keep quiet out of fear. Listen, later, we will directly approach the square. First, you will lead Rong away. Xiaofan said with a burning gaze. Master is really wise. This is a trick to lure the tiger away from the mountain. The 5 demons all flattered. But, Master, how can we trick Rong into leaving? This is very simple. Xiaofan's eyeballs rolled a few times. You just say that the elder level accompanying you has discovered my whereabouts and is currently confronting me. Both sides are fighting and are in a stalemate. I have no time to care about you, allowing you to escape. Now, you will risk your lives to rush back to the square and report to Rong. Xiaofan's voice was extremely certain. This plan, if carried out by you, is almost foolproof. First of all, you came with Rong, so there's no problem with your loyalty. Otherwise, Rong wouldn't have brought you to the genius zone. Second, you and I belong to different planes, and I've killed quite a few of your people, so we're mortal enemies. There's no way Rong would suspect you. Logically speaking, you would rather die than join forces with a mortal enemy like me to deceive your leader Rong. Third, Rong has no way out. Humph. In this hallucinatory demon palace, I have destroyed many of the exits, and Rong will never be able to catch me. As time passed, Rong is getting more and more desperate. Rong is absolutely clear that even if I hide, bear with it, and only destroy the exits without meeting Rong, he will definitely die. Your plane will be completely annihilated. Therefore, in a desperate situation, as long as there is a slight possibility, a slim chance of survival, Rong will definitely not miss it. As long as you go back and report, he will definitely leave the square and follow you to come and kill me. The 5 demons looked at each other and then nodded in agreement. Yes, Master, this plan is flawless. Rong will never think that we will betray him. This person is very conceited and insufferably arrogant. Under his rule, there are few traitors in the history of the entire demon's world. Master. After we lead Rong away, where are we going to lead him to? A demon's slave asked. All of a sudden, Xiaofan smiled. Follow me. With that, Xiaofan led the way, walking briskly towards the direction of the plaza. The 5 demon slaves followed closely behind in confusion. After walking for a while, Xiaofan turned left and right, like an old horse that knew the way, and brought the 5 demon slaves to a secluded courtyard. Impressively. In the courtyard. On a wall. He actually dared to have 6 exits appear. Exit. Master, you actually found the exit so easily. We haven't searched this area yet. I didn't expect to be found by Master at once. The 5 demon slaves. Their eyes were full of excitement. Exit. This was the first time they saw an exit that was intact and stable with the power of teleportation. There is a long distance between here and the square where Rong is. You lead Rong here, and then you leave directly through the exit. Xiaofan smiled. If you don't teleport out and Rong finds out that my trick of luring the tiger away from the mountain is successful, he will instantly know that you are spies. He can blast you into pieces with just a thought. As for me, I am very kind. Although you are just my slaves, I will not watch you die in vain. Of course, these exits. I need to disguise myself. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaofan released his spirit power violently and destroyed one of the 6 exits on the wall, leaving 5. The next moment, Xiaofan suddenly focused all his attention. Boom, 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 Xiaofan led the hallucinatory enchantment in a large area, and then used his spirit fluctuations to deploy these hallucinatory enchantment at will. Something strange happened. The outside of the 5 exits were blocked by the hallucinatory enchantment, so that the stable power of teleportation that diffused from the exits was blocked. Master, you've destroyed all 6 exits? The 5 evil hero slaves were all frightened. Only one was destroyed, and the remaining 5 were hidden by me. Xiaofan immediately gave instructions to the 5 evil hero slaves. Listen, remember the location of these 5 exits firmly in your mind. On the surface of the exits, I set up layers of hallucinatory enchantment to block people's sight, but as long as you remember the location and pass through these hallucinatory enchantment, you can teleport out. After you bring Rong here, Rong Xian will be in a hurry to kill me, so he will definitely not sense these exits. At that time, you can directly use the exits to escape. Each exit can only be used once. After the teleportation is completed, it will disappear. At that time, with Rong's magical powers, he will not be able to do anything to you. Yes. Thank you for your understanding, Master. Master's plan is almost perfect. Not only can you successfully rescue the hostages, but you can also save our lives. Master is really wise and omnipotent. Don't talk nonsense. Xiaofan laughed and scolded. Well, let's start. You are all injured now, and your faces are covered with blood, so you can win Rong's trust more. If nothing goes wrong, we will meet again outside this hallucinatory enchantment palace. We will talk then. Yes, Master. Let's go deceive Rong now, and ask Master to teleport out as soon as possible and meet us. The 5 evil hero slaves, after spending a little time memorizing the location of the 5 exits, ran wildly toward the square. Xiaofan also urged his leg strength and ran with all his might. Xiaofan did not run straight in the direction of the square. Instead, he made a big circle and arrived tens of thousands of meters behind the square. In a relatively hidden position, there were exactly 10 exits that were difficult for ordinary people to detect. Well, everything is under my control. When Rong is successfully lured out of the square, I will rescue the 10 companions in the square, then bring them here, let them pass through the exit and teleport out. While thinking, Xiaofan cast his eyes on the square, and quickly sorted out every step of the plan in his mind. After confirming that there would be no major mistakes, Xiaofan slowly approached the square. At the same time, he released his psychic fluctuations and paid close attention to the situation in the square. Chapter 445. In the square. The atmosphere was oppressive and hazy. The 10 heroes of Xiaofan's plane were all kneeling in the middle of the square, their bodies shivering. The expressions on the faces of these heroes were different. Some of them were unafraid of death, some of them were fearful, panicked, and desperate, some of them had their hands clasped together as if they were praying devoutly. Among them, there was a beautiful woman with a curvaceous body. Her face was pale, her teeth were chattering, and her hands were tightly protecting the 2 plump lumps in front of her chest. Around the square, there were hundreds of heroes of Rong's plane. Most of their expressions were ferocious and evil, appearing extremely sinister. Looking at the 10 heroes of Xiaofan's plane kneeling in the square, they were all bursting with murderous aura. Rong stood outside the square with his hands behind his back. His eyes were very lonely and depressed. There was a kind of sadness and strong unwillingness of a hero at the end of his road. I can't believe this. I am an invincible genius with a half-immortal body. I can't believe this. Rong smiled bitterly. His mouth was full of bitterness. Back in the day, when I was still a young man, my luck was like a rainbow, and I never had a bottleneck in my cultivation of true energy. Until now, I've always been very prosperous. Could it be that my luck took a sudden turn for the worse, and I ended up in such a state? He. A few of the 10 heroes of Xiaofan's plane who were kneeling in the square were also whispering to each other. They also had the determination to die. They knew that it was difficult to escape this time, so it didn't matter. They talked casually and no longer cared about Rong and the enemy heroes around the square. Sigh. We are also going to die. Every 4 hours, one of us will die. In the end, we still can't reach the genius plane. Everyone, let's meet again on the road to hell. I don't know if Xiaofan will come to save us. But forget it, it should be impossible. Xiaofan has no reason to walk into the trap. Forget it, don't count on Xiaofan anymore. We have no friendship with him. If it was us, we wouldn't be willing to take the risk to save some people who are not even acquaintances. Lord Rong, 4 hours are almost up. That little bastard still hasn't shown himself. On the Rong plane, a demon hero walked to Rong's side with a bleak expression and said in a low voice. Lord Rong, I'm afraid that little bastard doesn't dare to show himself. This coward. He would rather watch his companions die. They didn't even show themselves. He's just a turtle hiding in its shell. Shut up, Rong glowered at the evil hero. The only chance of survival. I will never give up so easily. Suddenly, Rongba raised his voice, 4 hours are almost up, get ready. Approximately. We're all going to die in this illusory demon palace. In the last moments of our lives, you guys should properly enjoy the taste of love between a man and a woman. Go. Take turns to ravage this bitch. Suddenly, Rong's voice became hoarse and perverted. His eyes were filled with viciousness and savagery. He was completely sick and hysterical. She pointed at the woman on Xiaofan's side and said, Little bitch. You should properly taste the taste of a man on this powerful plane. Don't blame us. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame that little bastard called Xiaofan. Leaving her to die. You, go first. Rong pointed at a man who was nearly 3 meters tall and whose arms were thicker than most people's thighs. Don't show mercy to the fairer sex. Yes, Lord Rong. That huge man extended his hand to untie his belt. No. You guys kill me. You bastards. You bastards who are worse than pigs and dogs. That woman let out a heart-wrenching and lung-splitting scream. Bastard. If you want to kill, then kill. To actually do such a heartless thing, how are you any different from the demon race? Bastards. Bastards in human skin. A few of the evil heroes on Xiaofan's plane cursed loudly. Their eyes were about to split open and blood spurted out from their eyes. 4 hours are up. Begin. Rongba said indifferently. That huge man had already taken off his pants, revealing his disgusting thing. He laughed sinisterly and walked step by step towards that woman. Just at this time, Lord Rong, the 5 evil heroes who had been enlightened by Xiaofan rushed into the plaza at this moment. Their expressions were very complicated. Embarrassing. Ecstasy. Shock. Hope. They vividly portrayed the feeling of grasping at straws of life. Coupled with the blood stains and swollen bruises on their faces, it looked extremely strange. What's going on? What's going on with you guys? Rongba was shocked by the situation of these 5 people. The evil heroes around the plaza also cast curious gazes over. The huge man who had taken off his pants also stopped what he was doing and looked over suspiciously. Lord Rong. That little bastard. He was discovered by the Great Elder. He was discovered by the Great Elder. The 5 people barked at the top of their lungs and jumped up and down. What? Rongba's eyes widened and his body violently twitched. Boom! Rongba grabbed the air and directly grabbed one of the 5 people over. He said with a stern expression. What exactly happened? Lord Rong. The chance to survive is here. Just now, the 5 of us, together with the Grand Elder and 3 other elders, went around to inform that little bastard that his companion was in our hands. However, unexpectedly, the Grand Elder activated his Heaven's Eye, and actually locked onto that little bastard's location. Then, the Great Elder and the 3 elders joined hands to kill that kid. That kid was indeed abnormal. He was actually able to fight against the Great Elder and the 3 elders head-on. His attack method was very strange. He activated the hallucinatory demonic mirror and launched a mental attack on the elders. However, the Great Elder and the 3 elders were also not easy to deal with. Both sides fought against each other in terms of mental power and showed a state of stalemate. Under the cover of the elders, we risked our lives to rush out and immediately return to inform Lord Rong of this news. Roar! Hearing this, Rongba roared towards the sky. His voice was like the roar of a wild beast. Found it. Finally found it. Ha ha ha. With the strength of one person, he fought against 4 elders on our side. This was simply rampant. Overestimating himself. But, ha 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 ha. The heavens do not want our plane to perish. For a moment, the hundreds of evil heroes around the plaza all cried tears of joy, all barking crazily. Caught it. Finally caught it. Lord Rong, there's no time to lose. Please quickly follow us to go and kill that little bastard. The Great Elder warned repeatedly. He burned the energy of his heavenly eye and immortal body to entangle that little bastard. It was a moment too late. I'm afraid that little bastard will escape, one of the 5 evil heroes said while weeping bitterly. Go. Bring this seat over. Rong waved his hand, his whole body seething with fighting spirit. This time, this seed is going to capture that little bastard, skin him alive, and swallow his heart and liver raw. Lord Rong, let's go together too. The evil heroes near the plaza were in high spirits, requesting to go to battle one after another. All stay here. Rongba berated. Keep an eye on these bastards. Wait for this seat to capture that little bastard and bring him back. Execute them together. Yes. Very quickly. Those 5 evil heroes brought Rongba and sprinted away from the plaza, kicking up a cloud of dust. Ha 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 ha, finally caught that damn bastard, we're saved. We've survived a calamity. Ha ha ha. This time. It's really a brush with the god of death. There are still more than 200 exits left, all of our remaining people can be teleported out. That's great. We're saved. We're all saved. I had a premonition that we're not fated to die. Ha ha ha. What kind of noble people are we? It's impossible for us to fall in this corner. Ha ha ha. This time strange danger is really a perfect tempering for our willpower. For our future cultivation of true qi, the accumulation is also quite considerable. Ha ha ha, awesome. Really awesome. It's as if I've been reborn. Ha ha ha. The hundreds of evil heroes near the plaza were all overjoyed. Jubilant. And Xiaofan's 10 companions who were kneeling in the plaza, were all in great despair. Xiaofan was still caught in the end. Unfortunately. He still can't fight against the people of this plane. Xiaofan will be tortured to death by them, and we won't be able to live either. When these people are teleported out, they will definitely cut all of us into pieces. Our plane is finished, at this moment. Ha 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 everyone, it looks like you're very happy. Ha ha ha. A lazy voice full of ridicule sounded from behind the plaza. Xiaofan walked over leisurely, narrowed his eyes and looked around the plaza, at the hundreds of evil heroes who were full of interest. You. That little bastard? You. For a moment, all the evil heroes of Rongba's plain had their smiles frozen on their faces. It was very funny, as if each of them was wearing a clumsy mask. Xiaohan. And the 10 evil heroes of Xiaohan's plain all stared at Xiaohan in disbelief. Why are you here? Heh. I'm here to save you. That's right, I used a little trick to lure the tiger away from the mountain. Ha ha ha. It's really perfect. Xiaohan laughed in a relaxed manner. Using hostages as a hostage is an extremely despicable move. However, it really stumped me. However, heaven helps the worthy. Even if you came up with such a despicable move, in the end, it was still resolved by me. Ha ha ha. This is called evil never triumphing over good. Luring the tiger away from the mountain? The evil heroes of Rongba's plain slightly understood. The next moment, not good. We've been tricked. Lord Rong has been tricked. We've all been tricked. Several evil heroes of Rongba's plain all screamed. Alright, all of you go die. In the blink of an eye, Xiaohan's spirit wave wrapped, and the hallucinatory demonic realm within a radius of a few thousand meters directly solidified, and attacked. Bang! 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 Under Xiaohan's control, the hallucinatory demonic realm all seeped into the brains of these evil heroes, causing them to almost instantly become possessed, exploding their own heads and dying. The entire plaza was left with layers upon layers of dismembered corpses. It was truly a mountain of corpses and a sea of bones. Perfect. Xiaohan couldn't help but snap his fingers. As for his 10 companions, they were completely dumbfounded. Alright, don't waste any more time. Let's go, I'll escort you out of this hallucinatory demonic realm. Xiaohan coldly shouted, all of you, follow me. Quickly. The 10 evil heroes didn't dare to be negligent. They immediately crawled up and followed Xiaohan, quickly leaving the plaza. Woo, the female evil hero, who was about to be ravaged in turn, was rescued by Xiaohan. She couldn't help but sob. Xiaohan laughed softly. Alright, it's all in the past. I'll bring you out. The beautiful woman moaned and cast an extremely complicated glance at Xiaohan. She whispered in an inaudible voice. Chapter 446. With the help and cooperation of the 5 evil hero slaves, Xiaohan's plan of luring the tiger away from the mountain was executed perfectly. In the square, the 10 evil heroes from Xiaohan's plain were rescued and then followed Xiaohan without stopping. Hurry up. Xiaohan walked at the front, his spirit wave spread out and locked onto the 10 exits tens of thousands of meters in front of him. Don't let your guard down for now, we must immediately teleport out. If we wait until Rong sees through my plan and chases after us, I can escape at any time, but you guys can only die. Yes, Xiaohan, before we completely leave this devil palace, we can't rest easy. Let's go, everyone quickly follow Xiaohan, don't fall behind. A true Qi realm evil hero shouted with a face full of excitement. Therefore, Xiaohan brought his 10 companions and walked towards the exit, towards hope. Xiaohan's 5 evil hero slaves led the way in front. They were all born actors, and their acting was vivid and lifelike. Their faces were dyed with anxiety, excitement, joy. There were many different expressions. Rong Yi grimaced in pain as he followed behind. In his mind, he was already thinking about what kind of punishment he should use to deal with Xiaohan after he captured him. We've already walked for tens of thousands of meters. Where are the elders and that kid? Rong blurted out. Lord Rome, we are as anxious as you. We want to capture that little bastard and cut him into pieces to vent our hatred. The 5 evil heroes said in unison. But, Lord Rome, there is still some distance between the elders and that little bastard, N. Rome nodded. I hope the elders can keep that little bastard occupied. Humph. Cut him into pieces? That would be letting him off easy. He paused for a moment. Rome waved his hand. All right. I won't rush you anymore, lest I affect you and make you lead the wrong way. Just lead the way with peace of mind. It was impossible for Rome to suspect these 5 evil heroes. Rome knew these 5 people very well. They were the genius evil heroes from his plane, and they had all received Rome's kindness. Moreover, the people that Rome selected to go to the genius zone had all passed a strict selection. All of them had gone through a strict selection process, so there was absolutely no problem with their loyalty. In Rome's view, even if these 5 people were torn to shreds, they absolutely would not betray him. There was no way he would betray the entire plane. The 5 fiendish heroes walked quickly in front of them, communicating quickly with each other out of the corner of their eyes. Their eyes were also faintly discernible. There was a hint of teasing in his eyes. After traveling for another tens of thousands of meters. Impressively, it was an elegant courtyard. It appeared in front of them. The 5 fiendish heroes rushed into the courtyard at almost the same time. Rome was slightly taken aback. He scanned the area with his consciousness and then said unhappily. There's nothing strange about this courtyard. Why did you guys go in? After a long journey, Xiaofan finally brought his 10 companions to the courtyard with 10 exits. The 10 exits were like 10 golden gates, shining with precious light. The power of spatial transportation was stable and miraculous. Ah! This is the exit? The 10 fiendish heroes all stared at the 10 exits in a daze. One of the fiendish heroes had his eyes and tongue cruelly gouged out by Rome. His condition was horrible, but at this moment, he could not hide his excitement. Exit. I also felt the power of spatial transportation. It's really an exit. Great. I didn't expect that we could still leave this demon palace alive. Everything, it's like a dream. As he spoke, he was also filled with emotions, and his body trembled. That's right, these 10 fiendish heroes were very unlucky. They had searched in the demon palace for a few days, but they still could not find the exit. Seeing that the hallucinatory demonic realm was getting more and more dangerous by the day, they could not even protect themselves. If they were slightly careless, they would be possessed by demons. The hope of finding the exit was getting slimmer and slimmer. Then, they were actually caught by Rome again, and their lives were in danger. Almost all of them fell into a state of extreme despair. And at this moment, Xiaofan was like a god descending to the mortal world. He saved them from Rome and helped them find the exit. His kindness was equivalent to giving them a new lease on life. Xiaofan. Thank you. Suddenly, a fiendish hero directly knelt down in front of Xiaofan. Huh. Xiaofan was taken aback by the situation. The next moment. Puff. 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 In front of Xiaofan, they all knelt down. The 10 fiendish heroes all knelt down. Xiaofan. It's hard to repay this kindness. From now on, our lives are all yours. The 10 fiendish heroes choked with sobs and said. Forget it, these people are also deeply grateful to me. At least I did not save them in vain. Xiaofan also felt a little emotional, nodded slightly, and then said in a clear voice. Stop being so wishy-washy. Don't be coy. We fiendish heroes do not care about trifles. One by one, quickly teleport out. Quickly leave. Delay lest something unexpected happens. Yes. The 10 fiendish heroes all stood up. Xiaofan, do you still want to continue staying in this illusory devil palace? The enchanting woman asked with a little worry. Xiaofan, you have already driven Na Rong crazy. Right now, he has lost his mind and is going against the rules. His behavior is like that of a wild beast, and he can do anything. This time, your plan of luring the tiger away from the mountain is like pouring salt on his wound. He will completely go crazy. If you continue to stay in this devil palace, there will be hidden dangers. Xiaofan, why don't you quickly find the exit and teleport out? Yes, Xiaofan, I heard from Na Rong and the others that not only can you easily find the exit, you can also destroy the exit. Many of the exits in this devil palace have already been destroyed by you. The reason you are staying in this devil palace is most likely to kill Na Rong and the others and get rid of the disaster forever. If that's the case, why don't you destroy all the remaining exits and leave only one for yourself? After that, you teleport out and trap Na Rong and the others in this illusory devil palace. Another fiendish hero earnestly advised. Yes, Xiaofan, if you want to kill Na Rong and the others, you can do it without a drop of blood on your blade. There is no need to put yourself in danger. Xiaofan, your meridians have expanded by several thousand times and you are the fiendish hero with the most potential in our plane. Moreover, this illusory devil palace battle. With your own strength. You killed so many fiendish heroes in that plane trembled in fear. Xiaofan, you will definitely become an existence that becomes an immortal in the future. Porcelain does not compete with tiles. There is no need for you to continue being entangled with Na Rong. Destroy all the exits and teleport out. We do not wish for anything to happen to you. In the future, you will be our leader. One of the fiendish heroes said with certainty. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan laughed loudly and then slightly narrowed his eyes. I naturally understand your good intentions. All right. All of you do not need to worry about me. You can teleport out now. I know what I am doing. I must kill Na Rong and the other great elders with my own hands. They are all precious accumulations for me to break through to the talisman transformation realm. Xiaofan said with an almost inaudible voice. When I was in the expanded meridian realm, my performance was too outstanding. This caused my talisman transformation realm to be 100 times, 1,000 times more difficult than an ordinary martial artist. If I do not kill a few existences like Na Rong, it will be difficult for me to break through. Na Rong, I will personally slaughter them for my future talisman transformation realm. It will be the most perfect foundation. Ah! This ambition. The 10 fiendish heroes were all stunned. Then, under Xiaofan's urging, the 10 fiendish heroes entered the exit one by one and teleported away. Very quickly, the 10 exits were destroyed. Few helping the Buddha to the end, they are finally safe. Xiaofan took a deep breath and then, a bright light flashed in his eyes. Now, all the fiendish heroes in our plane, other than me, have already teleported out. In the huge illusory devil palace, there are only me and the 10 supreme experts of Na Rong's plane left. The time to fight to the death has finally arrived. Na Rong, that despicable villain, will no longer be able to capture hostages to threaten me. Now, I can let go of my hands and feet and fight to the death with them. Xiaofan shot out his spiritual wave, covering a range of 1.5 million meters. Ha 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 ha, my 5 slaves have already successfully entered the exit that I disguised and escaped. Ha 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 ha. Rong, who was like a wooden stake, was left standing there in a daze. Ha ha ha. He has been tricked so badly this time, I'm afraid he is going to vomit a mouthful of blood. Ha ha ha. Alright, I won't waste any more time. I will find a secluded place and attempt to break through to the 19th spiritual finger art. With a thought, Xiaofan formed a finger art with both of his hands and the illusory devil realm within a radius of a few thousand meters was forcefully pulled into his sea of consciousness. The extremely dense spiritual power star rumbled and refined, emitting the sound of metal clashing. It was like a glutton eating delicious food, refining and absorbing the illusory devil realm cleanly. Ha 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 Rong, this idiot! Afterimages flashed and Xiaofan jumped a few times, leaving behind a series of joyful laughter. What the hell are the five of you doing? Rong was a little angry and directly scolded while gnashing his teeth. Damn it! What are you dilly-dallying here for? Why aren't you quickly bringing me to capture that? Disappeared? Suddenly, the aura of Xiaohan's 5 slaves actually disappeared in Rong's spiritual wave. The next moment, not good. Rong shouted and then directly waved his hand. True Qi wave and strands of immortal Qi shot out like an evil dragon, breaking open the courtyard formed by the illusory devil realm. In the courtyard, the 5 spatial teleportation doors were closing. The power of spatial teleportation? Exit? Rong was dumbfounded. What's going on? This. What exactly is going on? Ha 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 Rong, you idiot, you've been tricked. Ha ha ha, you've been tricked by our master. Ha ha ha. Idiot. Before the 5 spatial portals disappeared, 5 mocking voices could be heard. Roar. Tricked? Master? Rong's heart was filled with anxiety and anger. He seemed to have understood something. He stretched out his hand and directly destroyed a large piece of space. All kinds of illusions exploded. However, the 5 spatial doors completely closed, causing Rong to not be able to grab a single strand. Roar! It's the 5 hidden exits. Those 5 bastards actually betrayed me. Betrayed the entire plane. Unforgivable. 5 exits appeared right under my eyelids, and I actually didn't discover them. They even calmly escaped in front of me. Humiliation. Extraordinary humiliation. Master? Who's their master? This. Xiaofan. You little bastard. I've been tricked by you. Rong was so angry that his whole body twitched. Shockingly, poo, a mouthful of old blood sprayed out from Rong's mouth. To be continued. Chapter 447. Rong was repeatedly toyed with by Xiaofan. Finally, anger attacked his heart, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Aggrieved. Humiliated. As a leading figure of a large plane, Rong had always had the upper hand in all his life, and had never suffered a setback. But this time, he was actually repeatedly thwarted by Xiaofan. This caused his insufferably arrogant mentality to suffer a devastating blow. Xiaofan. Little bastard. Die for this seat. Die. Kill you. Exterminate your entire family. Slaughter your plane. Rong had completely gone mad, almost showing signs of being possessed. He repeatedly unleashed his ultimate killing techniques on the spot, causing the space to collapse like tiles. The helmet that he was wearing had fallen to the ground, revealing a head of black hair that was fluttering in the wind, messy. His entire person had sunk into a demonic spell, imagining everything around him as Xiaofan, and continuously bombarded. After half an hour, Rong's anger finally subsided. Then, not good. Bad news. Luring the tiger away from the mountain. This seat actually fell for that little bastard Xiaohan's luring the tiger away from the mountain. Damn it. Rong suddenly reacted, and then madly sprinted towards the direction of the square, in the square. The 10 demons from Xiaohan's plane who were originally kneeling in the square had already disappeared without a trace. And all around the square, there were scattered flesh and blood, muscle tissues, bone fragments. Blood flowed like a river, and a thick aura of death and resentment lingered. It was completely a mountain of corpses and a sea of bones. Seeing this situation, surprisingly, Rong did not fly into a rage. His expression, instead, seemed extremely numb, and his entire person also appeared extremely calm to the point of being terrifying. It was like the calm before the storm, dead. All dead. Hee hee. The last batch of demon heroes that followed me out of this plane have all died in the hands of Xiaofan. Hee hee. Now, only I, a few great elders, and a few dozen elders are left. Dead. How tragic. Ha ha ha. I think I'm going to die soon too. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan, oh Xiaofan, I didn't expect that my plane would be buried in the hands of a stinky brat like you. I fought against the heavens and the demon race to establish an immortal foundation. My ambition was not fulfilled yet. Ha ha ha. Unexpectedly, all of them were destroyed in the hands of a young man from a trashy plane. Fate? Fate? Ha ha ha. I can't accept this. Suddenly, Rong seemed to be completely disheartened, and he squatted on the ground all of a sudden. Xiaofan sprinted through the hallucinatory devil palace. After an hour, he finally found a region that was most suitable for cultivation. The density of the hallucinatory demonic realm here was extremely high. Xiaofan sat cross-legged and began to swallow the hallucinatory demonic realm wantonly, refining it into his sea of consciousness. He was accumulating and preparing for breaking through to the 19th spirit finger technique. 2 hours later, Xiaofan had absorbed and refined all the hallucinatory demonic realm in this region. Then, he searched for another region with a higher density of hallucinatory demonic realm. Just like that, after a few hours, the spirit power in Xiaofan's sea of consciousness was already extremely full. The spirit power star burst out with the sound of metal bouncing. Clang! 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 Every time it bounced, the heavens and the earth would shatter. Its power was like the great prison of the mountains and seas. It was almost invincible. Xiaofan felt that his spirit power was about to condense into a substance. If he released it at once, he could directly attack the enemy. It should be enough. The accumulation is almost enough to break through to the 19th spirit finger technique. It was dusk, and the sunset was sad and beautiful. Xiaofan was like a lonely crane, sitting cross-legged on the ridge of a house. A powerful halo of spirit power enveloped Xiaofan's entire head. That immortal divine light was spreading, and a poem of praise was faintly being sung. Xiaofan's hands moved, forming hand seals one after another. His movements were unconstrained like a heavenly steed soaring through the sky, like a swimming fish, like a white steed flitting through a gap. He was breaking through to the 19th spirit finger technique. The spirit power star in his sea of consciousness became increasingly condensed, sturdy, and dazzling with a golden luster. His spirit power was highly concentrated. His spirit and aura were flawless and untainted, extraordinary and refined. In this strange and profound cultivation process, Xiaofan's mind did not have the slightest bit of impurity. His entire soul was as clear as crystal. Suddenly, Xiaofan felt his spirit power and soul suddenly fly out, shooting up into the sky and penetrating into the endless void. This feeling was as if his soul was floating out of his brain. His soul had left his body. It feels like the last time I was possessed by the demon god's soul. My entire soul was forced to leave my body. It was very strange. Xiaofan's soul flew up to a high place, and he could actually see himself. However, very quickly, Xiaofan's soul could no longer see himself. His soul flew up higher and higher. In the end, it seemed as if it had flown out of this hallucinatory devil palace and beyond the 9 heavens. Light as a feather, as if I can fly to wherever I want. The whole world seems to be no longer shackled by the space. What a strange feeling. It's as if my spirit power can freely jump through space in this mysterious void. Xiaofan was even more dazed and felt that it was strange. However, in the next moment, in the void, endless time and space storms appeared. Between the heavens and the earth, there was no light from the sun or moon. In an instant, Xiaofan's spirit was lost in the endless space and time. He felt isolated and helpless, lost in the depths of the distant space and time, never to return. All around him, he saw endless storms howling and howling. Not good. All of a sudden, Xiaofan only felt that his soul was shaken to the core, and he felt a sense of vulnerability as if he was in danger. He knew very well that if his soul was wrapped by those time and space storms, it would be instantly burned and minced. His spirit would be destroyed. Come back quickly. Soul. Quickly return to your body from this place where the time and space storms are brewing. Hurry. Xiaofan was anxious and uneasy. At the same time, in the depths of the time and space storms, Xiaofan could vaguely see a door. However, this door was very blurry, and its specific shape was completely unclear. However, that door seemed to have formed an instinctive attraction for Xiaofan. This caused Xiaofan to have a strong desire to rush over, open the door, and see what was inside. Wang, shockingly. The great accomplishment stage saber intent that was floating in Xiaofan's soul suddenly let out a howl. The saber intent is being attracted. Behind that door, there seems to be something attracting the saber intent. Could it be, the door of the saber realm, the legendary door of the saber realm? As a saber cultivator, the level of saber intent above the great accomplishment stage is saber intent godly. To reach the legendary level of saber intent godly, one must open the door of the saber realm. The illusory door of the saber realm, it seems like I have sensed it. Roar. Xiaofan's soul was completely trembling. But my soul can't reach that door at all. The entire void is filled with time and space storms, my soul will be minced. I have to pass through all kinds of dangers to reach that door. But my soul is currently too weak. All kinds of thoughts came one after another. At this moment, Xiaofan's spirit and soul were falling rapidly. Falling to the bottom. The next moment, it's back again. Xiaofan's body trembled and found that his soul had returned to his sea of consciousness. However, when his soul left his body and roamed the void, Xiaofan's soul and spirit had once again undergone an indescribable baptism and tempering. Suddenly, boom, the last gesture of the 19th spirit finger technique was completed. This caused the density of the spirit star in Xiaofan's sea of consciousness to soar once again, and his spirit power had increased by a huge level. The moment the spirit wave spread out, it covered an area of 2 million meters. It covered the entire hallucinatory demon palace. After completing the 19th spirit finger technique, Xiaofan's spirit undulations range of scanning instantly exploded. If not for the fact that the hallucinatory demon palace only covered an area of 2 million meters, Xiaofan would have been able to scan a wider and grander area. Success! Xiaofan stood up. I've completed the 19th spirit finger technique, and my spirit power is getting closer and closer to solidifying. When my soul left my body just now, I seem to have sensed the gate of the saber realm, but I can't open the gate of the saber realm yet. It's not enough to open the gate of the saber realm yet, forget it, I'll put that gate of the saber realm aside for now, and don't let my imagination run wild. Wait until I complete the 28 sets of spirit finger techniques, then I'll go explore. Now, Xiaofan stretched his body, his eyes filled with fighting spirit. I'll take the initiative and launch the final attack on Rong. First, I'll kill all the elders in his realm. Then, I'll make Rong completely alone. Xiaofan leaped into the air and jumped out of the tall building. In the plaza where Rong was. Rong Ku sat in the middle of the plaza, a numb and miserable smile on his face. 5 great elders and dozens of ordinary elders had all rushed back from all directions. They looked at the piles of corpses around the plaza, then looked at Rong Ku, who had lost all hope, and could roughly guess some things. A wave of bone-chilling coldness immediately invaded their bones and lungs. Lord Rong. Lord Rong. Those hostages. Have they been? 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 Have they been rescued by that little bastard? Our evil heroes. All of them have been killed, Lord Rong. Lord Rong. Weren't you supposed to stay in the plaza? How did our heroes meet with misfortune? What is going on? Another great elder asked in a stuttering voice. All of a sudden, Rong Ku went berserk, jumping up and down, baring his fangs. Scram! All of you scram! Scram far away! Scram! Don't be noisy in front of me! As soon as he said that, Pa! 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 Rong Ku slapped them repeatedly, causing all the great elders and ordinary elders to fall to the ground. All of you, scram! Rong Ku laughed maniacally. Scram! Otherwise, all of you will die. These elders were terrified by Rong Ku's craziness. Then, one by one, they ran away like birds and beasts. All of you scram! Rong Ku stood in the middle of the plaza in a daze, his figure extremely lonely. These elders were all dispersed by Rong Ku and stood 10,000 meters away. It's over. Lord Rong has gone mad. It seems that Lord Rong has completely gone mad. What should we do? What should we do now? Are we all going to die here? A great elder's face was filled with unwillingness and despair. All right, let's all disperse and search for that little bastard. Once we find him, if we can kill him, then kill him. If we can't kill him, send out a voice fluctuation, tell him that we are willing to give in and reconcile with him. Forget it, we don't need to care about Lord Rong anymore. We will privately negotiate with that little bastard. Privately negotiate with that young man and try our best to satisfy his request. We will all compromise. Let's see if he can let us live. Alright, let's disperse and send the message. Lord Rong is unreliable. If we want to live now, we can only rely on ourselves. After a round of discussion, the elders dispersed. Oh! All of you have dispersed. In a dark and narrow alley, Xiaofan's figure appeared. Then, all the elders, before the sun rises tomorrow. All of you. Go to hell. To be continued. Chapter 448. In the illusory Devil Palace, the people from the Rong Plain were undoubtedly attacking Xiaofan's strong points with their weak points. They were restricted by Xiaofan in every aspect and had almost no ability to fight back. The hostage plan, that they saw as their only hope, had now completely failed. Not only were the 10 hostages successfully rescued by Xiaofan, but even the last batch of demon warriors was also hunted down by Xiaofan. It was a great defeat. They were all badly injured. This caused Rong Che to be completely disheartened. As for the remaining elders, each of them had to find a way to survive on their own. Late at night, these elders were scattered in the Devil Palace and wantonly sent out their thoughts and messages, wanting to let Xiaofan hear their thoughts. Xiaofan, show yourself. At this moment, we have already completely admitted defeat. We have all admitted defeat. Come out. No matter what request you have, we will satisfy you. Xiaofan, come out. Let's turn hostility into friendship. From today onwards, we will no longer be enemies with you. Moreover, if you are willing to come to our plane, we will also recommend you to become an elder of the Demon Warrior Tower. This will allow you to obtain the worship and faith of all living beings in our plane. Xiaofan, we will not hold any grudges against the demon warriors that you killed in our plane. All the enmity between us will be written off. Let's be friends happily. Hey, you're only admitting defeat now? Xiaofan walked quickly on a path. He released his spiritual force and locked onto a Grand Elder and 9 ordinary elders who were 50,000 meters in front of him. A cold smile appeared at the corner of Xiaofan's mouth. If we had minded our own business from the beginning, I would not have risked my life to fight with all of you. But now, it's too late. All of you must pay the price for bullying the weak and being insufferably arrogant. The Grand Elder and 9 ordinary elders were locked onto by Xiaofan's spiritual force. They wandered back and forth in the Devil Palace with terrified expressions. They were like wandering ghosts. How tragic. The affairs of the world are inconstant. There were many dynasties that collapsed just because of trivial matters. Sigh. I understood this principle before, but the stronger one's cultivation is, the more arrogant they become. Now, I finally have to drink the bitter wine that I brewed myself. Xiaofan, let us go. The great elder sighed in a depressed manner. 9 ordinary elders. Walking behind him, she was also filled with sorrow. Her throat was choked up and she couldn't speak. Just then, woo-woo-woo-woo-woo-woo, in the dark night. A large area of the sky suddenly condensed as countless hallucinatory demonic boundaries gathered together like thousands of evil dragons. Then, boom! He faced the Grand Elder directly. As well as the 9 ordinary elders, they came down. The entire world was filled with strange phenomena. Up in the sky and down on the ground, everything was an auditory hallucination. It was as if demons, ghosts, and gods were crying. It was as if the heavens were weeping bitterly and inconsolably. Terrifying cries could be heard coming from the rift. Following this, cracks began to appear in the sky, accompanied by the sound of the stars shattering. It was a terrifying sight. Poochie. 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 A terrifying sound resounded. It was as if the heavens were being forcefully torn apart by the demons. The night sky was dyed red as if the heavens were bleeding. Ah! Hallucinatory demonic boundaries. The hallucinatory demonic boundaries within a radius of a few thousand meters were highly compressed. The density had reached 100 times or even 1,000 times that of the initial state. Killing people and ghosts, causing people to be possessed. Ah! I can't resist such a degree of hallucinatory demonic boundaries. Roar! I saw it. I saw the end of the world. The end of the world in the legends. So it was like this. The sky was raining blood, the ghosts were howling, the end of the world was coming, the void was collapsing, and the universe was returning to chaos. Roar! Miserable! Bitter! It's Xiaofan. Xiaofan. Stop it. Let us go. As the great elder of a great plane, I have 101 true meridians in my body and the heavenly eye. I am invincible in the secular world. I have the body of a half-immortal. I can't die. If I die, the heavens and earth will mourn. It's a tragedy in the mortal world. Let me go. Ah! The great elder started to howl and cry blood. His cries were like the cries of a cuckoos and apes. But, the hallucinatory demonic boundaries was suppressing. Suppressing. Crazily suppressing. The great elder's aura was getting weaker and weaker. His aura was getting weaker and weaker. Ah! I don't want to die. The great elder screamed and opened his heavenly eye. His half-immortal body was emitting a sparkling immortal light. One after another, killing techniques exploded in all directions. He resisted with all his might. However, the hallucinatory demonic boundaries was an attack on the spiritual level. It was a soul attack and not a physical attack. Thus, the great elder's heavenly eye was useless. Continuous suppression. Moreover, the hallucinatory demonic boundaries in all directions were getting more and more rampant, crazier, and aggressive. The entire night was dyed with a layer of bloody calamity. Shockingly, the great elder's heavenly eye couldn't withstand the spiritual pressure and directly shut down. Pooh! Suddenly, the great elder spat out a mouthful of blood. Bitter. The great elder's muscles were spasming and his facial features were sunken. Sweat poured down like rain. He had no choice but to sit down and bitterly guard his mind that was about to collapse. As for the 9 ordinary elders, they couldn't even speak. All of them sat cross-legged with their hands clasped together. Their bodies were twitching. Boom boom boom, the hallucinatory demonic boundaries were like a meteor shower. As if they didn't care about their lives, they splashed down and attacked the group of elders. In less than the time it took for a stick of incense to burn, Finally, an ordinary elder couldn't hold it anymore. His mind scattered like a sand sculpture. He let out a short roar and then raised his hand and slapped his forehead. His body split open and scattered blood and foam on the ground. As the elder succumbed to the devil and died, the devils will spread like a plague. I can't hold it anymore. I can't hold it anymore. Ah! Bang! 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 The remaining ordinary elders had all fallen into bedevilment. Their heads exploded and their bodies were smashed to pieces. That great elder was still bitterly holding on. But he was also a lamp that had run out of oil. After a short while, Xiaofan, you won't have a good death. The great elder screamed. He also followed in the footsteps of the ordinary elders and fell into bedevilment, ending his own life. The night became quiet again. The wind continued to blow. The damp and cold air made people feel a sad and withered atmosphere. Xiaofan slowly walked to this area and looked at the broken corpses on the ground. Then, he silently disappeared. An entire night. Xiaofan was like the most terrifying hunter, hiding in the darkest corner, hunting and killing the elders of the Rong Plain. They were not able to escape Xiaofan's hunt. After completing the 19th spirit finger technique. In this hallucinatory devil palace that was like his home field, Xiaofan harvested the lives of those elder-level powerhouses like cutting grass. Dead. Within a few hours, Xiaofan killed all the elders of the Rong Plain. Great elder. Ordinary elder. Not a single one was left. Exterminating them all. Rong now, in this huge hallucinatory devil palace. Only the 2 of us are left. Xiaofan was like a lone crane, standing proudly at the top of a pavilion. His sleeves fluttered in the night wind. His aura seemed to be about to break the void and fly away with the wind. Originally, I didn't have the resources to fight against a leader of a large plane, a half-immortal body, and fight to the death. But in this hallucinatory devil palace, everything is possible. I can faintly feel that my foundation and accumulation have become more solid. It will be greatly beneficial for me to transform my true qi into true talismans in the future. Killing people who are of a higher realm than me and challenging an entire plane alone is a perfect tempering for my will. After killing all the elders of the Rong Plain, the true meridians in Xiaofan's body became more and more flawless. They were crystal clear and emitted a holy light. Those true meridians that had not been opened yet seemed to be throbbing and were ready to move. Accumulation. I can clearly feel the accumulation. Xiaofan took a deep breath and smiled with satisfaction. Then, he frowned. However, this accumulation is still not enough. I, Xiaofan, must do my best in cultivating true qi. Although it was glorious to expand my meridians by 2553 times, it has already passed. My talisman transformation must be amazing and must surpass the expansion of meridians in one go. Then, I need to accumulate even more. The more the better. Wrong. I must obtain enough accumulation from you. Xiaofan's eyes became more and more resolute. His mind was clear. Then. I will destroy all the exits in the hallucinatory devil palace, leaving only one exit. The corner of Xiaofan's mouth twitched, revealing an extraordinary smile. One exit, me and Rong. In this situation where there's only one exit left, I'll fight Rong head-on and cut off all means of retreat. Once I kill him, I'll obtain a heaven-defying accumulation. That's right. One exit and the two of them will fight to the death. Xiaofan was putting himself at death's door first. Once Rong was killed, Xiaofan's entire soul would undergo a perfect transformation. This way, the accumulation he would obtain would far exceed the success of assassinating Rong. Expanding Meridian Realm and killing an Immortal Eye Realm expert who has opened the Heavenly Eye. I'm afraid there has never been such an achievement even in the endless ordinary planes of the universe. It will definitely surpass the ancient times. This way, no one in this world will be able to surpass my accumulation. He had made up his mind. Xiaofan leapt out. And at this very moment, Rong, who was sitting in the middle of the plaza, felt a trace of sorrow in his heart. His heart was moved and he stood up abruptly, dead. I can sense that all the Grand Elders and Ordinary Elders are dead. I am the only one left. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. When I left my hometown, I led all the Grand Elders and Ordinary Elders in the Wuxia Pagoda and selected over 1,000 geniuses to prepare for battle. However, all of them are dead. I am the only one left. Ha 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 ha. Xiaofan. Now, only the two of us are left in this hallucinatory devil palace. Do you dare to fight me? Fight to the death. Rong roared angrily. His spiritual voice spread out in all directions. Chapter 449. Xiaofan. Now, only you and I are left in this illusory devil palace. Do you dare to fight with this seat? Fight to the death. Xiaofan. Now, only you and I are left in this illusory devil palace. Do you dare to fight with this seat? Fight to the death. That sound transmission of Rong pledging to fight to the death continuously transmitted to every corner of the illusionary Fiend palace. The powerful battle intent surged and pierced through heaven and earth. At this moment, Rong's life force reached its peak. His aura, his spirit, and his battle intent were all rendered to the extreme. Xiaofan. Let's fight. This seat, with the identity of the leader of a great plane, challenges you. Life or death, a battle to decide. Xiaofan, I have to say, you are the most terrifying enemy that this seat has ever encountered. You are even more terrifying than those great demon emperors. You are an enemy that is worthy of this seat's respect. Let's fight. Even if this seat dies in your hands, I will accept it. Boom boom boom, Xiaofan continuously destroyed more than 10 exits. His figure slightly paused. His spirit fluctuation also sensed Rong's voice transmission. Oh. Xiaofan was slightly stunned and the corner of his mouth twitched. What a powerful battle intent. Looks like that Rong has already regarded me as his mortal enemy. He doesn't hesitate to bet his life to fight with me. Ha ha ha. As expected of the ruler of a great plane. The aura and battle intent that erupted when he staked everything on one throw is sufficiently powerful. This battle intent, if one's spirit and soul is slightly weaker, I'm afraid that before the battle even starts, one would be scared to death by his aura. However, although I, Xiaofan, also want to fight to the death with Rong, I can't always choose the time when his aura is the most vigorous. Should I go straight to the front? Ha ha ha. The first drum of energy, the second weak, the third exhausted. I, Rong, want to fight at the time when he wants to temporarily avoid his sharp edge and wait until tomorrow. His aura will definitely be exhausted and the danger level of the illusory devil realm will increase by another 10 times. With another increase of 10 times, my chances of killing Rong will rise exponentially. Thinking of this, Xiaofan no longer ignored Rong's challenge. Instead, he focused on destroying the remaining exits. Before dawn, phew, it's done. Xiaofan walked into a courtyard in a relaxed manner. All the exits in this hallucinatory devil palace have already disappeared. Finally, there's only one exit left, shortly after. Xiaofan closed his eyes and went to sleep, conserving his energy. When the sun rose, he would look for an opportunity to have a final battle with Rong. Of course. The only exit that Xiaofan had left behind was hundreds of thousands of meters away from Rong. Naturally, there was no need to worry that Rong would be able to find it in a short time. This allowed Xiaofan to sleep in peace. The first ray of morning light shone into the illusionary demon palace. Hong hong hong, the muffled sound of thunder resounded in the sky. Today, the density and danger level of the hallucinatory fiend realm had increased by 10 times compared to yesterday. Countless hallucinatory demonic realms were spread out between the heavens and earth, like heavenly demons rampaging about, wanting to bring disaster to the mortal world. After a short nap, Xiaofan had already recovered. His vitality had been adjusted to its peak. Feeling refreshed, Zhang Xian walked out of the residence. Today's hallucinatory demonic realm's density and danger level has increased by 10 times. Xiaofan smiled slightly. If I remember correctly, today's hallucinatory demonic realm's danger level will be 40 times that of the first time I entered this hallucinatory demon palace. If nothing unexpected happens, today will also be the day that I and Rong fight to the death. Among us, only one will be able to leave alive. Just at this moment, a clear auditory hallucination appeared in Xiaohan's ears. On the 5th day of the hallucinatory demon palace, the density of the hallucinatory demonic realm has increased by 40 times, and the danger level has increased by 40 times. 1,000 exits, one left. In the plaza. There's only one exit left? Ha 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 ha. There's only one exit left. Ha 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 ha. Rong let out a maniacal laughter. This exit must have been prepared by Xiaofan for himself. Once he enters this exit, the hallucinatory demon palace will be completely closed. Ha ha ha. This is also an announcement that this seat will be completely trapped in this demon palace. This Xiaofan can teleport out immediately and use the only exit. Why didn't he teleport? Ha ha ha. He must want to make this seat feel great fear and anxiety before I die, to make this seat drown in despair. So sinister, so scheming. Good method. Roar. Xiaofan. Why don't you dare to fight with this seat? Roar. This seat has already decided to fight to the death, but you don't have the courage and determination to fight. Ha ha ha. How ironic. This seat has always been able to call the wind and summon the rain. I want the wind and get the rain, but I didn't expect that even my last request before I die can't be fulfilled. How regretful. This seat will die in such a muddle-headed manner. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, Rong's surging battle intent and determination to fight to the death were being defeated bit by bit. His entire aura was weakening. And he seemed to have aged dozens of years or even hundreds of years in an instant. Even the hair on his temples had a touch of white. At this moment, Xiaofan still didn't immediately find Rong to fight to the death. Instead, Xiaofan leisurely found an area that was most suitable to cultivate the extinguishing sky decimating earth mental technique. He sat cross-legged and began to practice the 20th mental technique. Today, the density and danger level of the hallucinatory demonic realm in the entire Devil Palace has increased by another 10 times. To me, it's another good opportunity to cultivate. Once I break through the 20th mental technique, not only will my mental strength skyrocket again, but the density of the mental strength star will also become more compact and closer to solidification. After completing the 21st set of mental technique, his mental strength would be solidified successfully. Vaporization. Liquefaction. Solidification. Every stage was like the difference between heaven and earth. When he completed the 19th mental technique, Xiaofan could faintly sense the door of the Saber realm. But because his soul and mental strength were too weak, he couldn't get close to the door of the Saber realm. But if his mental strength solidified, perhaps he would have the chance to get close to the door of the Saber realm and even open it. making his own saber intent. Reaching the legendary saber intent entrancement realm. In this way, Xiaofan could fight against the demon god egg in his heart. He would have a chance. To complete the 21st set of mental technique, the 20th set of mental technique was crucial. It could be said that the 20th set of mental technique was the foundation for the 21st set of mental technique. Moreover, if I can complete the 20th set of mental technique, I will have a greater chance of defeating Rong. With this in mind, Xiaofan began to devour and refine the hallucinatory demonic realm in order to break through to the 20th set of mental technique. He was preparing and accumulating. 4 hours later, Xiaofan could vaguely feel that his accumulation was more or less sufficient. He began to practice the 20th set of mental technique. This was the 20th set of mental technique. It was made up of a total of 100,000 subtle and profound hand gestures. To complete the 20th set of mental technique, he had to link these 100,000 hand gestures together perfectly. There couldn't be any mistakes or pauses in between. He had to do it in one go. However, when Xiaofan reached the 200,000th hand gesture, he actually couldn't link the 20001 hand gesture. With a pause, all his previous efforts were wasted. Moreover, when he reached the 200,000th hand gesture, Xiaofan's entire body started to show signs of exhaustion and powerlessness. Xiaofan was puzzled. However, he quickly regained his composure and continued to cultivate. The situation was exactly the same as before. When he reached the 200,000th hand gesture, all the energy in his body seemed to have been squeezed dry, causing Xiaofan's vision to blur and his body to go limp. I understand now. Suddenly, a light flashed in Xiaofan's mind. It's my physical body's strength that can't keep up. That's right, in order to continuously strengthen his mental strength, he must have a corresponding physical body's strength. After all, mental strength relied on a person's body. If the mental strength was too strong and the physical body was too weak, the physical body would not be able to suppress the mental strength. Then, there was a high possibility that the person would enter a demonic state or even directly explode. I understand, my physical body can only support me until the 19th set of mental technique. If I want to progress further, I must first increase the strength of my physical body. That's right, that's it. Xiaofan figured out the crux of the matter. In this illusory devil palace, it is naturally impossible to increase the strength of my physical body. Moreover, in order to satisfy the requirements of completing the 20th set of mental technique, I must go through thousands of tempering. It is not something that can be easily matched. It's my limit, I have now reached a bottleneck. I can only temporarily stop cultivating this extinguishing sky decimating earth mental technique. In the future, when my physical body becomes stronger, I will continue to attempt the 20th set of mental technique. Alright. Then let's leave this illusory devil palace. Xiaofan's gaze looked towards the distant location where Rong was. Within his eyes, a strong battle intent began to brew. Suddenly, Xiaofan's sound waves gathered into a line and through mental fluctuations, he sent a message to Rong, Rong, it's time for a battle between us. Rong, I, Xiaofan, and you have already formed a deep enmity that can never be resolved. Between us, we cannot live under the same sky. If I'm not wrong, right now, you have already become my heart's demon, and I have also become your heart's demon. Between the two of us, one of us will definitely die in the hands of the other. Now, in the entire illusory devil palace, only the two of us are left. There is also only one exit left. Let's fight. Those who survive, go through that exit and teleport out. Before the battle, I can tell you the location of that exit. If you can kill me, you can directly find that exit. In the plaza. Rong immediately received Xiaofan's voice transmission. Xiaofan. Xiaofan, it's you. Rong's spirit was roused, and his entire person exploded into a heart-wrenching howl. The last battle? Xiaofan, you want to fight to the death with this seat? Oh, before this battle, you even told this seat the location of the exit. Looks like you've put your life on the line. In this way, perhaps in the battle, you will be able to stimulate all of your life's potential. Good. Xiaofan, you're indeed a character. This seat has also been waiting for this battle. Come. Let's fight. Rongong puffed up his chest. His battle-intent soared. Xiaofan walked towards Rong step by step, and with every step, his battle intent rose a notch, and his aura rose a notch. Rong, come. The Battle of the Ages. In this battle, I, Xiaofan, will lay the most solid foundation for my future true qi cultivation. Chapter 450. Xiaofan had spent several days in this hallucinatory devil palace. Not only had he cultivated the exterminating sky decimating earth mental technique to the 19th mental finger technique, his mental energy was infinitely close to solidifying, he had also killed all the people from the Rong plane. Except for a small number of evil heroes who were lucky enough to be teleported out, in the Rong plane, most of the heroes were killed. All the elders, including a few great elders, were killed. Which was also to say that in the hallucinatory Fiend palace now, there was only Rong, this loner, left. The originally aggressive and valiant troops had melted like ice. Xiaohan's spiritual force locked onto Rong, and his battle intent soared. His aura towered over the heavens as he walked towards Rong step by step. In the plaza, Rong, at this moment, Rong inexplicably felt a predestined battle, a predestined feeling. He's coming, Xiaofan. Let's fight. Suddenly, half-immortal Rong's body began to burn. Boundless energy gathered at his forehead. The heaven's eye opened. Hong, along with the sonorous hymn, sacred light beams shot out from Tsong Rong's heaven eye in the shape of a fan. His mental power and soul had entered a clear state, flawless and untainted. His mental power pierced through the layers of hallucinatory demonic realm in the demon palace, covering an area of close to 100,000 meters. It had reached an extreme. In a trance, Rong sensed Xiaohan's position. Moreover, Rong could sense that Xiaofan was walking towards him step by step. He really came. Rong's lips curled into a bitter smile. Heh. That's the young man who destroyed the hope of my entire plane, causing it to fall from a mighty plane to a weak one. It's all thanks to him. I've been trying to capture him all this time. Even if he dug 3 feet into the ground, he still couldn't find him. There was nothing he could do. Now, he had finally appeared, in the entire hallucinatory devil palace. 1,000 exits were destroyed by him. Right now, there's only one left. Between me and him, one must die. Lock onto his life aura and location. Rong's third eye condensed and released a beam of dark light, which shot towards Xiaofan, who was tens of thousands of meters away. Gradually, after a few hundred breaths' time, the glow turned into some tiny runes. It stuck to Xiaohan's body. In this way, Rong finally managed to collect some of Xiaohan's life force. Then, as long as Xiaofan was in this hallucinatory demon palace, no matter where he hid, he would not be able to escape. Rong Do was able to roughly lock onto Xiaohan's position and hunt him down. Rong's complexion was slightly pale as a tired expression emerged on his face. However, the depths of his eyes were burning with excitement. I've finally collected the life aura of this little bastard. It wasn't easy. In this way, he has nowhere to run. Ha ha ha. Although he had locked onto the position through the air. Moreover, collecting life aura consumes a lot of energy, but it's worth a try. Just now, when Rong had gathered power from his immortal body and used his heaven eyes to collect Xiaohan's life aura from tens of thousands of meters away, he had consumed a third of his power, which he couldn't replenish in time. But, in this hallucinatory devil palace, this little bastard Xiaohan's greatest advantage is that his whereabouts are mysterious and unpredictable. His mental strength is different from ordinary people and he can use the hallucinatory devil realm to carry out assassinations. In this plane of mine, all the people who died in the hands of Xiaofan were killed by assassinations. They were not killed by Xiaofan in a direct confrontation. Humph. Xiaofan is nothing more than an insignificant acupoint expansion realm cultivator with a slightly stronger body. I can still easily crush him to death by consuming a third of my energy. It's like slaughtering pigs and dogs. Don't mention consuming a third of my energy, even if I consume 2/3 of my energy, I will still completely defeat him. Using a third of my energy to exchange for his life aura, this is too perfect. In front of me, he can no longer hide his whereabouts and tricks. His greatest advantage is gone. Xiaofan, let me personally punish you. Rongyi also took a step forward and strode towards Xiaofan. Oh. While walking, Xiaofan felt a sense of being monitored, like maggots in his bones, lingering on. Soon, a ray of dim light was projected onto his body. Moreover, this ray of dim light, after brewing, scattered and formed a miniature talisman, seeping into Xiaofan's cells and meridians. Xiaofan looked inside his body. He discovered that these miniature talismans were condensed in his body without dispersing, like a pair of devil's eyes, peeping at him from the unseen world. That Rong is still playing tricks. In an instant, Xiaofan understood. Separated by tens of thousands of meters, under normal circumstances, Rong can easily launch an attack on me. But in this hallucinatory demonic realm's dense demonic palace, even with Rong's ability, he can't launch a direct fatal attack. This trick of his. It's not to attack me, but to waste energy to plant a talisman in my body that can monitor me at any time. Planting such a talisman from tens of thousands of meters away, it must consume a lot of energy and mental strength, right? Ha ha ha. This Rong is still worried that I will change my mind at the last moment. Does he still not understand my determination to fight? Ha 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 ha, unnecessary. Xiaofan revealed a disdainful smile as he walked. I have already said it myself, this is the final battle, it cannot be avoided, this Rong is still wasting energy to monitor me, afraid that I will run away. Psychologically speaking, he has already lost. Suddenly, Xiaofan's conviction to win rose again. Boom boom boom, suddenly, Xiaofan took a step forward and ran towards Rong. He is actually running so fast. Rong sneered, then he also used his speed and ran towards Xiaofan. The distance between the two rapidly shortened. 50,000 meters. 30,000 meters. 20,000 meters. Within 10,000 meters. Ha 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 ha, it seems that I can already clearly feel Xiaofan's heartbeat. Rong's smile was extremely cruel. Outside the hallucinatory demonic palace. A blue space. A stable space. The people of Xiaofan's plane and the people of Rong's plane were clearly entrenched. At this time, there were less than 200 people teleported out of the hallucinatory demonic palace in Rong's plane. They looked at each other. A panicked expression appeared on his face. Elders and Lord Rong, why haven't they teleported out yet? According to the time in the hallucinatory demonic palace. It should have been a few days ago, logically speaking. With the invincible skills of the elders and Lord Rong, they should have escaped from the damn demonic palace a long time ago. 1,000 exits, it's not a small number. It's impossible that Lord Rong and the elders haven't found any exits, right? At this time, a large group of demonic heroes surrounded the 5 demonic hero slaves that Xiaofan had enlightened, and asked questions at once. The 5 of you were the last to be teleported out. What's the situation in the hallucinatory demonic palace now? Lord Rong and the elders. Why haven't they teleported out yet? What about the other demonic hero companions? We have thousands of people entering the demonic palace, but now, there are less than 200 people who can be teleported out. What's going on? We don't know about this. The 5 demonic hero slaves. They defended themselves in unison. In the demonic palace, we, Lord Rong, and the elders all acted separately and looked for the exits. After arriving, the density of the hallucinatory demonic realm in the demonic palace is very terrifying. Our spirit waves are imprisoned and compressed, so we have no way to meet with Lord Rong and the elders. The answers of the 5 demonic hero slaves were also flawless and impeccable. And in the camp of Xiaofan's plane, the 10 demonic heroes who were the last to be teleported out now all felt as if a lifetime had passed. Almost with tears in their eyes, they poured out what had happened to them to the demonic heroes who were on good terms with them. And soon, these 10 demonic heroes came to Xiao Mingchu's side and whispered to him with gratitude. "Brother Xiao, this time, thanks to the help of your pure cloud sex Xiaofan, we can come out alive. My junior brother Xiaofan, how is he now? Why hasn't he been teleported out yet?" Xiao Mingchu asked nervously and worriedly. "Brother Xiao, don't worry. In the demonic palace, Xiaofan can simply summon the wind and summon the rain. He is all-powerful and fearless." The people of Rong's plain, including many elders and even Rong himself, were all played by Xiaofan in the palm of his hand. The 10 demonic heroes hurriedly told him about how Xiaofan had rescued them and how he had massacred in the demonic palace. Xiao Mingchu, Luo Tianyu, and the others could only listen to them in a daze and were shocked. As for the pagoda master, the elders, and the ancient giant Yan Qi, they formed a small camp and chatted with each other. That's right. In our plane, only less than 10 people who entered the demonic palace died. The rest of them all came out. Their achievements are brilliant. Their luck is like a rainbow. An elder stroked his beard and smiled. Pagoda Master, according to the description of many demonic heroes who came out of the demonic palace, the immortal weapon in Xiaofan's hand is really invincible. It seems that even Rong has been defeated by Xiaofan again and again. Yan Qi winked at the Pagoda Master and said. From the corner of his eyes, he kept glancing at the 10 demonic heroes who were surrounding Xiao Mingchu. The eyes of the Pagoda Master were filled with extreme fanaticism. As for the immortal weapon, I will discuss it with Xiaofan after he comes out. I hope that he will consider the big picture and contribute that immortal weapon. At this moment, boom boom boom, beams of glazed light shot out from within the hallucinatory Fiend Palace, dyeing a large stretch of space into a beautiful and magnificent sight. The people from Xiaofan's plane and Rong's plane immediately sensed the spiritual waves. They did not know what was happening in the demonic palace and instinctively took a small step back. Suddenly, a clear auditory hallucination appeared in everyone's ears. On the 5th day of the demonic palace, the density of the demonic realm has increased by 40 times and the danger level has increased by 40 times. 1,000 exits, 1 remaining. On the 5th day of the demonic palace, the density of the demonic realm has increased by 40 times and the danger level has increased by 40 times. 1,000 exits, 1 remaining. Inside the demonic palace. Finally, the distance between Xiaofan and Rong was less than 100 meters. On an empty road, the two of them stood facing each other. Finally, they met on a narrow path. Rong, clad in a scaled battle robe, stood tall and proud as he stared intently at Xiaofan. His eyes were scarlet red, as though he was a gambler who had lost everything and wanted to make a comeback in the end. His body was trembling slightly. Xiaofan, standing alone with a calm expression, looked indifferently at Rong. Xiaofan. Suddenly, Rong extended his right index finger and pointed at Xiaofan. You are Xiaofan. Little bastard, you have guts. You forced me to such an extent. You made me feel unprecedented distress and despair. My elite demon heroes have all been massacred by you. Even many elders have died under your schemes and assassinations. Now, I'm going to pull out your soul and burn it while you're still alive. I'll make you wish you were dead. Has so much nonsense. Xiaofan smiled faintly. Rome, the immortal Eye realm has opened the heavenly eye and is invincible. Today, I, Xiaofan, will kill you. I will definitely gain an indescribable accumulation. You will become a stepping stone for me, Xiaofan, to rise. Suddenly, Xiaofan's aura rose to the extreme. It was as if even his body had grown bigger. Pointing to the heavens and stepping on the earth, his heart surged with the conviction of victory. All the true acupoints in his body transmitted a vague throbbing.